break into P2 on our first rotation. Took them about 20 seconds, but they were able to do it. So it's by no means a money hill. It's obviously still relatively slow started, 8 and 16, double negative. As things stand. As we rotate now to the second hill of our second rotation, 147, 123 is the score in favor of Paris.
And this is where the Huntsmen cannot afford to screw up. One bad smoke, or one good smoke from the other team, rather, and quite a few kills. They got punished and allowed the break to happen. They are going to want and need a full 60 in this situation. Arcides, the front man, able to find one, has the help for the second, as Scump is able to find two. The first push gets stuffed.
And Huntsmen retake the lead with still 35 seconds left on the hard point. Plenty of time for them to build themselves a cushion. And if you're Paris Legion, you need to be very careful because one player, I believe it's Gunless, for Chicago Huntsmen, is deep at the back of the map. A great little play from him. Rotate early, get behind Paris Legion. You almost force Paris to maybe push it one more time, but now the problem is you've pushed for the scrap time, you've not won that fight, and you don't have control of the spawns. This could be where the game goes completely out of control for Paris Legion.
This is absolutely beautiful stuff from the Huntsmen right now. They just trusted 1v1 gunfights on various sides of the map. Envoy goes big in the hill. Gunless try to go big on the other side, but when all is said and done, it is a 30-point lead. You're trying to get control of middle, but this might be where the double AR setup comes up big once again for Paris Legion. This is where they started to build their comeback the first set of rotations.
And you consider how scary that looked for a moment there for Paris Legion. They've done very well just to recompose themselves, get their setup back in action, as the very small, fragile Chicago Huntsmen lead about to drop down to just 10 points as Paris slaying outside the hill, still, of course, with Dennis sitting in, picking up all of the hill time. He's about to approach a minute himself. And right now, Chicago can't get close to the hard point, gents. Paris, take the lead.
The feed is getting brutal. Someone's got to step up right now for the Huntsmen. Formal in the feed makes an appearance, but he's going to need to be there quite a long time longer. Now you got Luca. Again, the pressure game for Paris Legion is insane. They're able to retake the lead. They're going to bump it up a little bit more, and they're the first to the new hill as well.
And you talk about stepping up, it has to be Arcides. I've called out his stat line a few times so far. Still double negative, 11 and 22. He's an explosive player that all it takes is a couple of gunfights for him to just go on one of those massive streaks and potentially just win his team the game. As Shock should find one. The rotation is in for Chicago Huntsmen, however, so we could see yet another lead change.
And you see Shock's goal here is not to go towards the hill, but just to stay on this side of the map. His teammates are responsible for the stuff inside the hard point, but now you got Gunless and Scump trying to surge forward. The trades, though, get shut down by the native Dens. The double kill, you love to see it if you're a Paris Legion fan.
And Arcides is ready to spring into action. Flies in towards the hill, contested for now, still 30 seconds left. Of course, trophy and nades can be launched. Luca goes for the challenge, and Arcides falls. Formal looking for the trade, there's two. Almost found three, but Shucks springs into life instantly. And with 20 seconds left on the hill, Chicago Huntsmen don't want to concede it for free. The contest comes through, Envoy wins it, and that could be a big 10 seconds.
Pressure's on this next hill. The Paris Legion can absolutely win it. Huntsmen, they're gonna have to start freaking out on these kills, but the nades all over the feed, and right now it's just gonna be the pressure on the top side of that map. The Huntsmen just trying to sneak through.
And Paris are parking the bus deep at the back. They know they have to force Chicago to push them. 30 seconds is all Paris need to take game number one. They can win it on this hill. If you're Chicago, you have time for one, maybe two at best. Pushes into the hill, and that's a great start. 3 kill comes through. Luca looking to defend from above. Time is ticking, just 13 seconds now. Someone has to get in. The problem is, Dens is ready and waiting inside the hill, so when the push finally comes through, he should be able to find at least one, maybe two, but the kills come through for Chicago. They survive for now.
They survive for now. Dens might be trying to make a play for a little bit of his scrap, and he's able to find one.
Oh, that's huge.
Makes the read on number 2, and that just means more Huntsmen players have to back up to deal with them again.
But so smart from Paris. When they spawned, it looked as if they wanted to try and push for the scrap time, see if they could win the game. Instead, they say no, back away, set up for the new hill, win it on rotation.
11 seconds in the game is going to be Paris's, but Gunless has something to say. He's trying to fight through. Envoy gets chopped down. The feed right now in favor of Paris. 7 seconds in the game is
gotta go, and it's gonna be Scump. Can the king of Call of Duty make the plays? His team need him now as he flies in. Zed is there. Envoy for the trades, he finds one. There's number 2. Chicago Huntsmen, they have the number.
Let's go.
And now they have hill control, or do they? No, Paris Legion steal it at the last second. It looks so good for Chicago that maybe, just maybe, they could make the comeback there. However, Paris Legion, as you said, Chance, they needed to start strong. They've done just that.
The perfect storm for the Paris Legion. That is the first hardpoint loss we've seen on land from the Huntsmen, and that is best case scenario. They've played 2 series already today. This is the Huntsmen's first. You've had the opportunity to get the guns warm. The Huntsmen, well, they just have to do it in scrims behind the scenes, and we saw a couple slow starts from Formal and Arcides. They just weren't there productively early enough, and the Paris Legion took full advantage.
Advantage Paris. 1-0 up in the series. Here's a quick glance at how the game 1 played out statistically at least. Shocks 37 and 23 leading the way for Paris. As well as that, Luca with a good game at 30 and 20. You've got to give Kismet some credit as well, 33 and 27. But on the other side, again, the stat that really stands out to me is Arcides, a slow game, 14 and 31. Just couldn't find it in the game to step up.
I mean, obviously, full credit to Shocks. He played like a monster the entire
What up, Dad?
time. But again, that double AR setup on this map was quite a bit of success. You have Dents, who just lived inside the hill. 2 minutes to his name. He just made that his entire goal. Just hang out, lock down the lines of sight. And then Luca, how many times do we see him where he's winning gunfights by... It's because he has the better gun for the job, where he's just getting those long-range engagements, and he's getting the extra shot out on the MP5 player.
I really want to take a look at our Scuff gaming play of the game, because if I'm honest, there's a lot that you could possibly pick from, but it's Kismet popping off on rotation, going on a little bit of a spree.
And I think he finished on, what, like an 8 spree, maybe before he gets cut down and finds maybe 4 or 5 through this engagement. He's re-breaking this hard point with all these free kills, and you can already see the score. They were down by 30 points in this moment. He's one of the catalysts for this team of when he gets hot, it can just help this team take over the game.
Normally we talk about search and destroy when Kismet is kind of the topic of discussion. However, his respawn game has definitely improved coming into this season. We do look at search and destroy as the game type that he can explode on. The one thing that we kind of talked about a little bit when we were just kind of preparing for this matchup, when we knew this was the game we were going to be casting, is Kismet sometimes has some inconsistencies. Often when we kind of say, all right, this is going to be his time to shine, sometimes he underperforms, and then other times he looks like a completely different player. This is one of those series now where, yes, you played 2 series already, maximum you're going to play 4. You need that consistent Kismet in search.
I was going to say in search, absolutely yes, but as far as I'm concerned, their job is done. You have to steal one of the respawns. They got that out of the way.
That's fair.
Now you just make sure that you clutch up in the search and destroy.
Exactly that, right? You've done the hard work, I guess, but make sure you don't throw away what could be your team's bread and butter, so to speak.
Well, and so it's not the easy work. Just to be clear, not the easy work. The Huntsmen have dropped 2. Well, now make it 3 maps on land, only one of which was search and destroy. So that's a quote weakness, if one at all. But I believe we're going to be going to Petrograd. And it comes down to who's the sniper for either of these teams. We know Formal loves to do it. We know quite a few teams won't even challenge him with it.
Sure.
And so Formal in interviews is saying, hey, I'll take it. It's free for me if they don't even want to try to snipe against me.
And again, it's important to just kind of reiterate. By no means are we saying that search and destroy is a weakness for Chicago Huntsmen. And again, to reiterate one more time, they changed their practice schedule to incorporate more search and destroy. And from what we've seen so far this event, I think it showed. I think you can see their improvement.
I mean, again, not a massive amount of information we're working on, but again, they've handled it in the most professional way possible. They're saying, if there is a weakness for this team, let's address it as quickly as possible. That way, when they come out to this event, they have the best showing possible.
Right.
But now, of course, a little bit of pressure is on, because the only opening the Paris Legion may have had coming into the series, it's already there. The Paris Legion have broken through, so now I think the ball is in the Huntsman's court to respond as quickly as possible, because if you reverse this tournament, but by no means do you want to find yourself in that situation.
Especially in the semi-final. Do not want to fall 2-0 down. With how Paris Legion have been playing,
search and destroy.
It's a scary team to be 2-0 down
Assets
too.
identified. We need to keep them intact.
St. Petrograd, search and destroy is game 2. Paris Legion with the advantage. 1-0. Chicago Huntsmen, they'll be in the attack first round. Obviously, we expect to see the sniper in Formal's hand.
Yeah, I want to know if they're going to counter-snipe. Like, we know Formal's going to go in. Always going to
Get
look
over
up and down.
there.
I think they are.
Is someone going to counter-snipe against
Based off X-ray, I think so. Might be Zen. Maybe not. Backed away. So, no. They're going to give up mid lane for free.
They're letting him ride. Luca, again, just playing the cut-off role. He's sitting mid-map, waiting to either hear a player coming up behind him or shoot the man in front. But either way, while that's happening, Zed gets picked for first blood in the top window.
Well, now Formal knows. He's going to spot. I believe that's Dens scrambled away. Chicago did have a first blood, so numbers advantage in their favor. And they find the opening, though. The problem they have is, of course, no control over the A side, as you would expect on the attacking side on St. Petro, but they haven't really been able to get too much control over towards B either. Time is ticking. Obviously, now you get your dead silence. This is when you can make the play.
The call has been made. You got 5 men. Rotate back to the A site. You're hoping you have a man advantage, and they will have a 5 versus 2. You trade these kills, you'll be good to go. Dead silence popped on the hand of Arcides. The move is now, you make sure you trade these kills.
Arcides found the first blood. Can he find a second? Kismet's up top. That kill isn't going to come through. Skunk takes control of the top window. Arcides, after a slow game 1, finds himself a couple of kills there in the first round. Obviously doesn't fall either. A great start for the social short for Chicago Huntsmen.
And in my mind, that round is just all on Envoy. As soon as that flank comes in and formally gets caught out, it just seemed in my mind that the Huntsmen took a very long time to make moves in the site. Like, they popped dead silence just for site control before they did anything. If Envoy doesn't go big and find those 2 kills, that flank could have been a lot more difficult for Scumpy to manage. But he found the kills, they clutched up, nice round on board. We'll see if Envoy can continue some destruction.
Paris Legion now on the attack. Are we going to see maybe a more aggressive play over towards A? Traditionally on defense so far on this map from what we've seen. Formal doesn't always pull out the sniper rifle.
It looks like Zed is thinking about working up mid-map. Obviously full site control on the defensive side for A, but Zed has opportunities potentially to make a move. Might be waiting for that dead silence before he tries to go for a flank.
You'd assume so. Of course, Kismet will have bomb. It's Envoy who has found himself in a good position just to watch that cross. Get as much information as possible as time ticks. As Paris Legion essentially looking to do exactly what Chicago Huntsmen did the round prior. Play slow, see if you can get a pick, wait for your dead silence, and then try and make a play. Whether you rotate fast to B or wrap all the way back to A and then
Formal's watching the hazmat building.
Difficult gunfights. It depends, but Envoy needs to be careful.
Nice.
Should just get caught out here as a quick flurry of trades come through. Formal shut down. Envoy now knows the play to his right. He's going to have to challenge Kismet. Kismet wins the fight, though. Advantage Paris Legion.
Spidey sense is tingling for Kismet. Now they're going to be surging through Gunless with an AR, though. Question is, how fast does Kismet go? He tries to cross. He is just bait. Now the bomb down in the back, and Gunless turns and finds another 2 versus 3.
And that was just so quick from Gunless. Zed had absolutely no idea he was going to be set pre-aiming. So a free double for Gunless. Now 3 versus 2. Chicago Huntsmen with the advantage. We're going to go 2-0 up here. They also do have bomb down. I'm not sure if Gunless is going to know that yet. Luka tries to pick it up. It's Scump up top. Gunless finds another. Chicago Huntsmen cruising through the early rounds here of Surge.
And it's just a nice play from Gunless in the end, right? He's able to find 3 at least that round, but really it's just Kismet saying, I just want to run to the back of the map. I want to get there with the bomb. My teammates be damned. Gunless says, I will take the freeze kill of my life. Makes a nice play on the guy in trains, and, well, the Huntsmen will be happy for it. Up 2 rounds to none. Now more opportunities for, well, maybe Formal to get a pick with the sniper.
Obviously, we talk about momentum and what winning game 1 for Paris Legion would mean. You don't want to make game 2 too easy for Chicago. It's only been 2 rounds, of course, but I love what we're seeing from Chicago Huntsmen on the attack this round. First blood from Envoy again. Not afraid of trying to be the playmaker Chicago need.
He's just surging through. RC just found another pick. Envoy playing fairly aggressive. Sounds like he has dead silence. Papa, you can definitely hear that. But his teammates have all surged through overpass B. There's only one man here. It's Kismet by his lonesome, who might just have the perfect reflank.
The flank of the flank. Has to be careful not to make too much sound, though. As Chicago, they got full control of B, but they pushed all the way through. They're waiting just to maybe secure 1 or 2 more kills. Dens goes down. Shocks and Kismet in the 2v5. Make that Kismet for the 1v5.
And Kismet for the death. Spent so long trying to make a play, try to crouch walk around the map as long as possible, and Envoy is like, oh, there you are. Let me get that next kill. In a dominant round from the Huntsmen, who I think the guns might have woken up just a little bit.
Just a tad, just a tad. And I love what we've seen in the last 2 attacking rounds from Chicago. Say, we don't want anything to do with that B or A site, pushing over towards B.
And making really good use of the dead silence as well. You see Envoy pops it, has 0 fear, plays as aggressive as possible. Get some nice picks as well for those first bloods. Now it looks like you got a map spread for the Paris Legion on the attack. The bomb carrier actually completely by himself. They're showing a bit of presence over towards A. Bomb's not there. Zed with that first blood, and Got players for the Paris Legion all over the place. You got a flank at A, you got Envoy in the spawn of the opponent. You have players all over the map.
And obviously you called it out in the first round, Envoy being the key player for Chicago. He hasn't slowed down at that pace every single round, making a crucial play just to help open up the map for Chicago. And well, he may find another kill here in Dens, and he stayed alive. Pops the smoke. And the sneaky man may be able to just walk away. Brilliant stuff from Envoy.
I mean, Envoy is just the massive playmaker right now. He's doing whatever he wants on the map. You got players that are just trying to hide from him. They spent so long just trying to hunt Envoy down, and now you see they just have to get out of dodge and make moves. There was so much openings that the Paris Legion had that round that Envoy stuffs.
However, it is a 3 versus 2. Still possible here for Paris Legion to win this round. And we'll need to get the bomb planted, which they'll do. Shox and Kismet still alive.
Now the Huntsmen grouped up together on the approach, trying to retake this site. They have to go fast. Scump is going to pop the dead silence, gets chopped down immediately. RCG's not quite there for the trade.
Gives you a little bit of information, but look at what's going on by the bomb. I believe that's Kismet, the white arrow. Mid-map now currently, essentially stuck in a sandwich of Chicago Huntsman players. All he needs to do is check bomb and play his life. With 15 seconds left, have Paris Legion done enough? Kismet now with the information, he wins his 1v1. Arcides with just 8 seconds won't have enough time. Kismet gets the job done. Paris Legion win their first round.
And that is a huge 2v3 for the Paris Legion to get, because again, Envoy was almost the round crusher towards the start, just with massive flanks piercing through the enemy's setup. But when all said and done, you get that 2v3. And one, it's massive that they killed Scump, because he's the one that popped dead silence. You can take care of him quickly. Now the other 2 Huntsman players have to play a lot more slowly, a lot more carefully. And as soon as like Kismet's mid-map behind him has free bomb checks, the Huntsmen are never going to turn around again. They think they've already cleared out the map.
Well, 4 rounds in, Arcides still yet to fall. 5-0, but it's Envoy. Again, to reiterate, the playmaker so far for Chicago, sitting at 6-2. They start this round with a quick glance over towards Luca. Watching the cross, and this is a good reaction to what Chicago Huntsmen have done the past few rounds on attack. Expecting the B push, and he's in the right spot for it. Problem is he needs to at least trade out his life here.
He can hear these players as well. He knows there's at least one, if not more, nearby. They fly out for the challenge. You gotta get the kill, though!
No!
Arcides is gonna ruin him!
Arcides, he has a family, my friend! Considering map number 1, I don't know what Arcides did between game 1 and game 2, but wow, that was disgusting.
Now you have the Huntsman. They're already round back. You got Arcides potentially in the power position, round back. Envoy again just finding kills all over the place. Kismet does get traded out. The bomb is going to be down for a moment, but it is a massive life advantage for the Huntsman once again.
I mean, if you watch your teammate get turned on like that.
They didn't have to see it.
That was
for our eyes only.
Disgusting. Dens for the 1v3. Find Envoy. Bomb down. B once again, though. You still have to hunt out Arcides and Scumpen. Well, good luck killing Arcides in that form. 6-0 as is.
And he's got to go. I mean, if you have any hope of clutching this, you're going to have to go fast. You don't have to worry about the dead silence. Try to make a play. He's got to check so many power positions, though, but it's just not enough time for him on the clock. Scump is going to jump up to where Dens is looking, but now the pinch is going to get set in a controlling round. Arcides, by the way. There's something Lucas said in the interview before this match. He said, I've never played against these guys before. Arcides says, welcome to the show. And that's something I want to see again, by the way, because that was filthy.
That was not okay. 4-1, Chicago Huntsmen. 7-3 Envoy. 6-0 Arcides, 6-2 Scump. On the flip side, not really much to get excited about. Kismet 4-5, Dens 3-5. As Paris Legion go back onto the attack. Down 4-1 though. They've got to start stringing it together some rounds for a chance.
Kismet, nice and quick. It's mid-map. If he goes through that door, there's a couple Huntsman players that are going to be ready for him, but Formal's actually going to fall. Kismet checking every corner possible. He's come out past the player, but his teammates getting all the kills. Dens is able to find 2. The feed lit up by the Paris Legion, and now Kismet says, thank you very much. I'll plan on B. Take down Arcides if you can.
Wait a minute. Arcides 1v4. Problem. Bomb carrier was still alive, so bomb goes down at B. Now for the 1v3. Arcides, behave yourself! Shuts down Zed. I thought maybe if he could scramble away, we could see a 1v4. But he shows he is human. He falls, and Paris Legion take the round.
Now As exciting as that kill was, Dens was in the perfect position. He can
know.
see the entire map cross from up in that window, depending on where he's playing it. RCDs would have had to have the best possible timing, the best possible luck, but there was nothing. That is Dens just making sure they can stamp out at least one round.
And no formal, no sniper rifle. And Chicago Huntsman's attacking play is very B-heavy. And they once again choose to dedicate that side. I mean, you can see what Paris have done with the 3 players. That way, Envoy, dead silence popped. He's gone straight down the middle of the map. It's a brilliant play. Well, they expect it, and unfortunately doesn't check his close right corner. Shox gets first blood.
Paris is a very well-prepared team, but now RCDs has been the playmaker. 8-1 comes through the door, doesn't lose these gunfights, takes Kismet down.
I mean, he's on fire. He's on fire. 9-1. Back to his reliable ways. We find ourselves in a 4 versus 4. Envoy and Kismet both down. All their respective teams. Of course, Chicago Huntsmen need to plant the bomb.
More AR dominance coming out from the Huntsmen. Dens tries to trade, but Formal stays alive. You got the 5 versus 3. The bomb gonna be planted. The 3v5 retake for the Legion. Shox, though, nice entry kill, gets that first hit.
As you mentioned, bomb down. As you can see, potential fight could come through here from Formal. Bear that in mind, late to the party, but 3 versus 3. Time ticking, 27 seconds. Just watching top window if Zed can stay alive. So we'll of course call that out. Now Shox has found 1, so it's a 2 versus 2, the instant challenge. Shox has found 3. Now it's down to Zed to potentially try and go big as he challenges. Formal shuts him down. The Chicago Huntsmen go 5-2 up. 1 more round. They tie up the series.
And that was a fantastic attempt by the Legion. They waited for Shox to pop that dead silence to make the play. The players are the bait up in the top window for him to get through, but the trades from the Huntsmen were just too good. The gun skill from the Huntsmen was just too good.
1 more round. All Chicago Huntsmen will need 4 in a row for Paris Legion as they go back onto the attacking side. It's been fantastic execution and strategy so far from Chicago. Getting the job done, playing their game, and for the early rounds at least, catching Paris Legion heavily off guard.
Formal, nice and aggressive. Him and Envoy, that duo, watching the B push from this side of the map. Nade's getting chucked out, so there will be a little bit of information that the Legion have. How much can you glean from that? I don't know. And Formal, as soon as his presence is known, he backs away from the car, wins the gunfight on Kismet, first blood Huntsman.
And he stays alive as well, doesn't allow himself to be traded. So an important play from Formal and gives his squad the advantage. 5 versus 4. Luca able to retrieve the bomb, but it's Envoy ready and waiting for that push.
Envoy can't shoot the light hole. Only the enemy. Luca pops dead silence. He comes around looking for it, but Envoy takes him down. Luca, that is not his spot.
He isn't. Pretty unsuccessful as Envoy pops the smoke and scrambles away. Shox, of course, won't have that information. They still have to just respect that corner. Slides through. Meanwhile, RC's on the other side has found Zed. So now it's Dens and Shox. 2 versus 5. 40 seconds on the clock, and you need to plant the bomb. You're also on completely the opposite side of the map. This is not a good spot for Paris.
The good news, both players alive are Australian with all the chemistry in the world. The bad news is 2v5. It is effectively hopeless. You got to make a play. Shox's position is known. He gets taken down. Dens, you're 20 seconds for the round. You win a gunfight, but where's the bomb? Wrong side of the map. The Huntsman just take him down. Get it over with. Pop the dead silence. Win the gunfight. There you go. The Huntsman with the 6-2 win.
If you were worried for Chicago Huntsmen, that is a fantastic response in the search and destroy. Paris Legion take game 1, but a fantastic bounce back in that search. Arcides goes off, Jets.
I mean, goes off. He was winning filthy gunfights the entire time that he had no reason and no right to connect on, but he comes out big, gets the double-digit game.
Series tied 1-1. We'll be back after this. double negative. Game number 2 looked like a complete
numbers though, because that would be impressive if Zed is pulling off a couple kills to 0. Inside the kills are coming in points. In my mind, Envoy was the play and then Arceus was the guy that was just
all of that game number 2. Here it is. Oh yeah, Lucas got this covered. We're fine. This should be a free first blood. She says, not today. Later, of course, Luca in that corner. Didn't have to try to reach out that before we make
that sorts off. Good news, we're looking at the teammates you have to see. Shout out to the light bulb. Lucas has paid up for the rest of his Call of Duty career, at least in this game.
I'm glad the crowd got the ball back. London, crowd, have you sang happy birthday to Hex yet? That's my question. I don't think they have. There was a couple of happy birthdays yesterday, but apparently
These
you
are
did?
definitely Call of Duty fans. They are so distracted by a beach ball. Everyone is ADD.
I'm surprised. I didn't hear him sing happy birthday to Hex, but a couple people said thumbs up that they did, so okay. Fair enough. That's all that matters. I want to make sure Hex is appreciated. That's all.
This is the easiest crowd to entertain I've seen in my life. You give them a beach ball, and just for hours, they're just like, let's do this. Let's just hit it back and forth. What a good time.
Of course. Beach balls are fun.
Beach balls are great, but now the match has started. We have new things to focus on, Ben. This is our first St. Petrograd we've had to cast for domination so far this year.
It is.
I'm thinking, Ben, it'll be a good one.
Yeah. Probably going to have a couple of exciting moments, I hope. See if Arceus can continue that form he had in the search into this respawn and can Paris back on track. And a wonderful game number 1 from them. As you can see, both teams capped their home flags, respective home flags. Now it's just a scramble over the B flag. And it seems, just looking at the minimap, that Chicago do have a little more control, but still yet to see the cap come through.
Get to see a cap come through, but now you have a couple players doing their best job of just being annoying. Scump behind enemy lines actually has a couple teammates that are going to be nearby. And make no mistake, St. Petrograd is a map where you might be able to see a triple cap eventually. Now you're seeing potential spawn flips coming in. Scump looking for the second. He's going to connect. Now he's neutralizing C and Dens. He's got to scurry, get back, chuck some nades, but Scump, job is done. You've already drawn everybody down.
It's a beautiful play. You put so much pressure on the home hill, you get a couple of kills, you force players to turn around and negate the fight over towards B. Scump, some good decision making, but Arceus now springs into life. A double for him, and you can see the intent once again, wanting to push the home hill of Paris Legion. Of course, B still neutral as is.
And you can already see the spawns are going to flip as soon as they start putting pressure over towards C. Everyone on the flip side for Paris Legion are going to spawn at A. So you do have a spawn flip when all is said and done. The question is still about that B flag. No one able to get pressure. Arceus is going to be the man that's just trying to keep the Paris Legion at bay as that C flag gets wrapped in.
So A currently under Paris Legion control. C, of course, for Huntsman now, though B actually will be capped by Paris. Did Gunless get there just in the nick of time? He did, but the cap will carry through. Luca should be able to take control of it, so 2-to-1 flag advantage for Paris Legion. If you glance at the stats, it is Luca starting off very well at 4-1. On the flip side, it's Envoy's turn to step up at 1-5.
And the ARs from the side of Paris Legion respawn have had success when they get to the spots they want. Luke is going to be exactly where he needs to be, and now Envoy, he knows that just capping B solo is incredibly difficult. Well, Shox knows that defending B is easy when you're just behind the enemy team. He can hang out here and just wait for someone on Huntsman to either run by, may happen, or just hop on the B flag, but meanwhile, Huntsman trying to surround the B flag.
Also, more importantly, if he feels that there's pressure elsewhere in the map, he can just hop on towards C and try and go for the decap, which may be the play he wants to try and make. Can he find 1 or 2 kills, though, before having to reveal his position? Well, Formal's going to spot him, and that's just a beautiful challenge from Shox. So quick, so fast to commit to the fight. However, a very close game, just 1 point in it as things stand. A hasn't been capped up. When it does eventually, and we'll see a swing. 1 point lead for Paris Legion. He's going to be neutralized, though, by Scump, so Paris, they're not going to be earning any points here.
I mean, this is nice to get the neutralization at the same time, but it's a matter of what flags can you end up getting, because now you got bodies everywhere on the map. Envoy's in the back trying to defend C. So far, so good. His teammates have capped A, and you can have the AC set up. It's not easy to hold for a long time, but you can do it for at least 30, 40 seconds.
2.5 minutes still to go. in this first round. And Chicago Huntsman trying to put pressure for the trip cap. Seems like the perfect time to send it to an Astro Gaming listening with Chicago Huntsman.
Cross, I spawned A. There are spawns. Gonna go top. Gonna be top.
Oh, he's gate.
Gate
Copy, Duns.
Play for B, guys. Play for B.
I'm back pots right now, guys.
Wait, yeah.
On B.
Alec has kills on C.
Look for
Hey,
C.
guys,
Elbow.
coming pots.
River Street.
Alright, yo, they're neutral B.
On B. Bottom restaurant. Bottom restaurant.
He's on B side.
Left side. On line.
Line dead. One more line.
Another one. Line. Yeah, line. Hopping on B.
Two plus two.
He hopped on B. Another on B.
Dead.
Nice. Go C, guys. Go C. Track spawns. I think.
Deep river. One shot.
I got one river. One
Nice.
river.
I have arch now.
No, can someone get C?
River's not peeking.
You kill me, River.
I killed both river.
I got it.
Arch chicken.
Yo, someone
Be
should
all
go.
arch.
I'm
Be all arch.
I have the push, Matt.
One back to A, guys.
I'm actually.
All
Hey,
B.
go in A. Coming in.
Go far.
2-1A. 3-1A.
100%. Just hold track. I grew up.
Someone can OE. Boot up to A.
I wait.
I spawned arch, guys. So
Boot up, weak. He's mid-track.
Bottom.
Hey,
Two bottom.
Well, 2 moments of trip cap domination from Chicago Huntsman. And you can see the effect that's had on the score chance. 68-40. Paris still not earning points. The lead is only going to get bigger. Paris are in for a very rough second half if things stay this way.
Nice little lead in Formal, of course. He's on a 5 streak right now. He gets it up to 6 before he falls. But I do want to just point out, Envoy in those comms, he's calling out the spawns of Paris Legion repeatedly before they actually spawn in. He is well in advance of the game. He is definitely cerebral when it comes to that spawn knowledge, showing it off just a little bit, but still, it's the bump, it's the slang, it's the control. Right now, the Huntsmen have just been pouring all over the Paris Legion.
I mean, listening to them and watching them, it was like a well-oiled machine there for about a minute. As Paris Legion definitely struggling, almost down 40 points in the first half. And I asked you the question earlier on in the day, Chance, what do you think that kind of really uncomebackable point lead would be going into the second half? We both kind of agreed around about 40-50, and you're thinking, well, this could be done already. Chicago Huntsmen may just be trying to look to make a statement unless Paris Legion can wake up in the second half, but down almost 50 points. This is going to be brutal.
I mean, like a 20-point lead is nice. Once you get to the 40, this is almost to the point where you're just feeling kind of comfortable, and it helps when you're shooting like that. Maybe try to get in a bit of a 3 cap just for that final tick, but of course the neutralization over towards C. But when all is said and done, you manage to get yourself a 50-point lead going into the second half. That's pretty sizable. That's pretty comfortable. Not insurmountable. That is a hell of an uphill climb.
That is a massive lead to have. That might be one of the biggest leads we've seen so far in the CoD League for the first half of gameplay.
What's the largest hill or mountain they have in Paris? That's what they have to climb right now, Ben.
Definitely a tall task ahead of Paris Legion. Can they do it? Well, Zed 8-14, Denz is 8-11. Again, really shocks the consistent one from Paris Legion throughout this series, 14-12. It's going to have to be almost perfect domination from this point out from Paris Legion. It's going to start with, of course, trying to lock in that B flag as quickly as possible, keep a 2-1 flag advantage, and at some point, you're going to have to go for a trip cap, if not just hold 2 and neutralize the Huntsman's home hill.
You do have a few minutes to work with, but the Huntsmen just have so many tricks up their sleeve at their disposal. And anytime you see their name on the left side of the kill feed, that just makes their job so much easier. Just need one body on the flag. And if they just get it even for a few moments, that is going to make it so much more difficult for the Legion.
Zed pops on the B flag and looks to try and just neutralize and maybe secure it himself. Tough challenge ahead of him. Scump is watching the cross, and Scump will find the kill. Huntsman so far just putting on a clinic here in domination. 5 minutes to go. And Paris Legion, they need a breath of life. They're going to have to find some momentum somewhere. One player goes on a streak, anything at all to bring them back into this game.
And I will say it's once again the King Scump. He's leading the lobby in slaying. He's at 17 for the moment. He's been in elite form as of recent. This game has been suiting him very well, and him and Envoy, the SNG aggressive duo, try to make some plays. Envoy doesn't get the kills, Scump's there for the trade. And anytime you get a wave of kills like this again, the job for the Huntsmen, it just makes it so much easier going down the line.
It's 2 kills in quick succession from Gunless before RCD's his teammate, of course. Shuts him down. Team kill comes through. For Chicago Huntsmen, you don't even have to worry about B at this point. You can leave it empty, leave it neutral. It doesn't matter. Paris Legion aren't doing anything to try and reduce their lead. Huntsmen definitely in the driver's seat here, and they were from the get-go. They haven't relinquished any control whatsoever.
And it's a beautiful thing as well, because obviously the Legion, they're not allowed to basically flood the B flag. You can only cap it one player at a time because it just doesn't work at the moment. So they don't have a lot of time. Anytime the Huntsman players fall, they're just going to pour in nades, and that's why it's so difficult to capture this B flag. And especially hard so when Gunless has 17, Scump has 21. Players are all over the place.
Almost have to juggle, right? First person kind of goes on his bait, and eat the nade, then someone else close has to hop on the hill just to try and get the cap. It can be so tough, as it almost feels like this is a bit of a victory lap here in the domination. Gunless will find one. That's Lucas Springs out. There's Dens. Gunless really in fine form, 20-9. That was a 6th streak before finally falling to Zed. Kismet responds to the kill feed with a double, but Arcees is there instantly to try and trade. Finally, Paris get control over B, but is it enough? The nade goes raining above, and well, B hasn't been capped. C is being neutraled as well. This is the best we've seen so far from Paris Legion here in Game 3.
The biggest opening they have, and now the Huntsman players are trying to flood the C as quick as possible. The nades get them off for a moment. Zed is able to find a few kills, and the Paris Legion actually secure B, so this is the opening. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. You're down by 60. You still need more.
The problem is everyone fell when you would love to see them get a wave of spawn kills. Unfortunately, no one was able to do so, and now Chicago Huntsmen start earning points again. The lead still 50, just shy of. It's Gunless triple kill. Oh, Lord.
They set him up.
Oh, he got another.
Knocks him down. He's going to find even more at his disposal, but at the same time, it's his teammates that are currently on B. He just needs to slay around them.
I mean, when Gunless is basically killing the entire other team, it should be a relatively easy Game 3, a 4 spree for him. Of course, he has 7 caps as well. His objective duties too. One more drops down towards B. Should be able to find one. That's Dens that goes down. Meanwhile, Arcees watching the other side, and for Paris Legion, you've got to try and do something, but now you're trip capped. This chance, with 2 minutes left, I'm just going to say it. It's done. It's over.
If these flags instantly all flip to the Paris Legion, I think they still lose, Ben. This has been one of the most dominating domination games we have seen. They play the game mode to a T. And this is one of those situations where it might be scary to play the Huntsman on St. Petro Dom, Ben.
Might want to think about avoiding it. Might. A very, very dominant domination. And of course, big picture, that now means Chicago Huntsmen, after losing map 1, will be 2-1 up in this series. We'll go back to hardpoint in Game 4. Can Paris Legion force a Game 5? Or will we once again have a Chicago-Dallas rematch, this time though, in our first grand final here in the CoD League?
And if you're the Huntsman right now, just put the foot on the gas. That's a clean 5 feed for them. You make it as tough for the Paris Legion to not tilt as possible. You just want to make them just hate their lives for the next minute. That way they're tilted going into map 4.
I think they might already be at that point.
I think they were at that point maybe 4.5 minutes ago.
It's funny because we were talking a little bit specifically about hardpoint and what Chicago Huntsman's average kind of victory margin is. It's the biggest in the CoD League. This is probably the biggest we've seen in domination as well.
Yeah, I think for the hard point, obviously it's going to change from state. Just lost the first hard point this
but
series.
Coming into the series.
It was somewhere in like the 70-point margin. I mean, they're winning hard points as dominant as anyone else in the league is even like getting close to doing, and they're doing that every single time. So the Paris Legion had the hot start, and the story for them is they need to steal a respawn. Well, now they have to not steal one, but win one just outright again, just to force the map 5 where, I mean, the Huntsmen are looking scary in search now, too.
I mean, they definitely are. They've done it once. Can they do it twice in the same series? Because coming in, Chicago Huntsmen hadn't lost a hardpoint. As there it is, Game 3 finally comes to an end, but don't be mistaken, that game was done and dusted 4 or 5 minutes ago. Chicago Huntsmen convincingly 215 to 110. Now lead the series against Paris Legion 2-1. They are 1 map away now from the grand final.
And what a close and exciting game for the first 2 minutes. And then that first triple cap came in, and the Huntsmen never let up, ruthless.
The problem was it wasn't just the first. They got the first trip cap at around about the 4-minute mark. Then they managed to implement it again. I think overall in just the first half alone, they had about 30 to 40 seconds where Paris Legion just weren't earning any points whatsoever. And the margin at halftime was about 50 points. I think it was 49 to be precise. And to end it over 100 points, I mean, that just shows you how dominant Chicago Huntsmen truly are. We'll take a look at some of the post-game stats, though, from that game. It's really only going to tell you one story. Chicago killed Paris quite a fair amount of times.
That is just a brutal thing to look at. +4, +2, then a 10. The entire lobby positive. They outslayed them by 25, 30 kills, just completely taken over, and really no love lost on the other side. Dens went positive. Good for him. He just got bopped and need to carry something into this next hard point. And
it's so hard. It's so hard in a game like that, domination, where you've basically taken such a beating for such a long time, to recompose yourself going into a game 4 is not going to be an easy thing to do. However, as we mentioned, the first map of the series, this is going to be hardpoint. Paris Legion were able to take that. Can they do it again, Chance? Can they take us to a game 4?
But we know for Hackney Yard, for example, that the Aussies do a little bit different. They do use 2 assault rifles and try to make a little bit different plays, show a different look that the Huntsmen might be used to. Maybe for map 4, they have something kind of in that same ballpark. Maybe. But again, I'm just throwing darts at the dartboard right now.
Fair enough. Gunless, of course, he's had a pretty good series so far, but +10 there in that game 3, a fantastic performance. I'm sure there's an entire highlight reel for him, including a quad kill. Really brilliant stuff coming in from him at this point. I mean, like, double positivity stayed around about that mark for most of the matches.
I mean, again, it's just, it's ultimate slang. As soon as you're the first team to get that control on B, the options you have at your disposal just make it so easy. I think the only opportunity they had is, there's the 3-piece that gets lined up. Luka, anytime he gets near a light pole, seems like maybe the windmill kind of just moves him, maybe magnetic force or something like that, throws him off a little bit.
It's the same spot in game 2, but I believe Gunrunner will be game 4, Chance. That will be our map. So with that knowledge, do you foresee in your great wisdom a game 5? Or?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking Gunrunner. I'm having flashbacks all the time I've watched Chicago and be like, man, this like P2 hill is super difficult to break, and it's gone. And they break it immediately. Like, this is a map where, like, we saw Gunless trying to do it a few times back on Hackney Yard, where they send one man to just try to go flip those spawns, be that hiding out hole. Envoy has had a ton of success this weekend of being that guy. Of you go on those solo rotations, you can hide in a box and just wait for your teammates to squad spawn on you. You can find some big kills if you want, but he has been a key player this weekend and in this series at different times. So he's the player I'll be keeping my eye on, at least in the minimap.
It's very funny because there's often moments so far, this season at least, where in hardpoint it's almost more beneficial to kind of play like in Call of Duty Ghost Blitz. If you remember, there was often moments where it's like, well, don't actually shoot your gun. Try and just play a little sneaky, sneak around the opposition, go deep into the opposite spawn, and rely on that squad spawning system.
Right, like, it helps that you have an absurd amount of slaying power on your team for the side of the Huntsmen. Right. It's even better when you're playing good, solid, correct hardpoint, at least for the sake of Modern Warfare, right? So keep an eye on some of these players. Right now, the Huntsmen, before or after the pause, more than likely after, keep an eye on the minimap to watch these players of maybe trying to slip through the cracks, try to get to the other side, and influence the spawns as quickly as possible. That is their goal from the first hill. The Huntsmen just want to be on the other side of the map.
Game number 1 was loaded up before a quick pause was implemented. That's over towards the main stage. It doesn't seem to be on Chicago's side. It may be over on the Paris side of things. Could be mistaken though. We'll wait to get that resumed. And if you are just tuning in, Chicago Huntsmen currently sit 2-1 up against Paris Legion. One more map for them, and they'll book their ticket into the grand final here in London. And of course, they're ready and waiting is Dallas. Game back underway. Map 4 starts right now. Chicago looking to close it out here. Can Paris put a stop to that momentum already? First blood comes in for Arcides of this hard point, but we're on board with Scump straight away. And bear in mind as well, Chances, Paris Legion with a favorable spawn off the start.
Favorable spawn, but that means the Huntsman might try to send someone through. Look what does take down Scump, but you see those green arrows at the top of the map. They're thinking about trying to flip, but they don't feel they have the opportunity yet, so maybe you just want to get as much time on this opening hill as possible. And Luka, well, his goal is to keep him out. Shox' goal, just keep them out and stay alive.
And the furthest forward green arrow is going to be Envoy. Kismet's going to deal with him, so no one's going to be allowed to overextend. And here, if you're Paris Legion, if you can just kind of do some damage mitigation on the first hill, make sure you don't go down too heavy, keep the spawns for P2, you're going to be in such a good spot to earn some massive amount of points. However, it is Chicago currently with a small lead, but honestly, all things considered, if you're a Paris Legion fan, this is a very, very good start.
And this is what the Legion wanted, but I will say they are kind of giving away a little bit of free time because they're not putting the pressure in the hill, so they are going to find themselves down by 15, but that means they have to win this rotation. They did a couple kills early on just to stabilize. Now the Huntsmen, though, on the attack.
But this was your fear. You called it out. So many times you've seen Chicago Huntsmen just blitz straight into P2 and manage to break from behind. However, Paris Legion holds strong. That's a good start. And of course now, they will take the lead. There's still 40 seconds of hill time available. Slow start from Zed, but a hot start from Den. 7 and 2, highlighted on your top left scoreboard. Unfortunately, shots will fall, and just like that, Chance, it's almost like you're a bit of a prophet. You foresaw that. Chicago Huntsmen breaking P2.
I mean, they're in for how long is the question. Stuff trying to stay alive for as long just to get these contest points. He's not expecting to get the break, but he can if he wins this second. He's going to connect, beat him the third. It's going to be Kismet, but gunless there from the trade, so scrap time. The way of the Huntsmen, the rotation, though, pressure's on.
Yeah, Paris Legion off spawn didn't want to push for that scrap time. Instead, they're going to try and rotate, but Arcides is at the back, and this is what we were talking about. Something that Chicago Huntsmen is so good at in hardpoint is sitting so deep, ready for the new hill to pop, that it causes so many problems. So now, if you're Paris, not only do you lose the scrap time, you also lose the initial and the spawns for new.
I mean, you're dealt the worst side off the rip, and you find yourself with a 30-point lead right at the start of minecart. Huntsmen have already done a fantastic job so far in this game, and now you got the entire team watching the cross. Dens is gonna fall. Everyone's gonna fall. Paris Legion, they're trying to get to the hill as quickly as possible. Arcides doesn't even have to take the gunfights. His teammates have too much help for him.
This could get ugly very, very quickly if Paris Legion don't find a footing here in game 4. They need 50 points now. Envoy looking to try and find anyone being a little sneaky with still 20 seconds left on this hill. Arcides is picking up that hill time. The contest comes through. Paris Legion retake control. Can they hold it for that 15 seconds of scrap? It's going to be an important time for them just to lock in.
Zed nearly goes pretty big and actually gets the kill on Envoy, but doesn't quite connect. But now Shox is just trying to be the cutoff man, trying to keep the Huntsman pinned back as far as possible, and maybe job done just a little bit. There's a little bit of breathing room in this new hill pops, but for the moment, Paris Legion, nobody's inside.
No one inside the hill yet, but you can see the pressure they were trying to apply there to Chicago Huntsmen, forced them just to spawn as far away from the hill as possible, slay out as many times as possible. Now they get hill control. Can they reduce that deficit and maybe even take the lead here? Definitely possible with 40 seconds left on the hill. The lead still Chicago's way, 78 to 50. Now 28 points. Paris need to win a couple of fights here as Envoy makes his way over towards the hill. He'll feed momentarily green. Zed should be hunted down, but no. Zed wins the fight against Envoy. And Paris Legion break the hill.
And Paris Legion are trying so hard just to get any sort of pressure. I mean, they put all the pressure in the world trying to flip these spawns, but the Huntsmen are giving them nothing to work with. So nice little bounce back hill maybe in terms of points, but the Huntsmen, they're happy to trade that away. They're going to keep their 20-point lead, and now you go into the new hill. All 5 bodies for the Huntsmen. They're going to be surrounding it. They got the map pressure. Envoy does get chopped by a nade, so Luca, well, him and his teammates have the opening on the left side.
Early hill time as well. Almost slain from afar. 10 and 10 his stat line, nothing too crazy. Stump leading the way for Chicago at 15 and 12, but this is where Formal can come to life. You put him in the hill to milk the time, and you can just slay from afar. Bear in mind, Shox has managed to get behind, and a bit of a flank could develop here for Paris Legion, but you have to break the hill quickly here. Again, to just try and slowly but surely chip away at the Chicago lead.
It's the tough thing. There's so many corners to detect. You just have to kind of fly in. Now Zed needs to win a ton of gunfights. He's able to connect on Scump, able to stay alive, and that was job done. It takes 25 seconds to set the push up. You get one crack at it, but Paris Legion doing a nice job. But even still, they're still down by quite a bit. Now it's going to be the Huntsmen that have the preferred side on this P1 hill. The Legion have their work cut out for them, and now you got Formal just watching the cross.
They actually get a very favorable spawn up top. It was Kismet. And he's going to force at least 2 players from Chicago Huntsmen to wrap around, and well, Kismet's dealt with by Formal. No one else to really worry about, and that's going to be kind of the story really from this first hill, is Paris Legion continuously looking to put pressure on the furthest right part of the map. They've done just that. It's actually going to be Luca sat at the very back of the map. Now, the question, can Paris managed to get a better P2 than what we saw in the first rotation, because they've done well, all things considered, to keep this as close as possible.
Oh, I don't know when the hell Luka got there, but now it's going to be Paris Legion, at least a couple bodies over there, so the Huntsmen go in and try to hunt them down as quickly as they can, but still one man behind enemy lines. Kismet is doing everything he can to stay alive. He's going to have to find at least 2 kills.
Right, there's no rifles here. Oh my lord. Gunless.
Always check your corners, kids.
A read. Shocks. His turn now to try and make the play. Patience is a virtue. Please don't get turned on. Thank you. There's the pick. There's the assist. And Shocks still in prime position to make the play, but Chicago this morning's so close that you've just got to be so quick here if you're Shocks. You've got to spring to life and maybe put some pressure inside the hill as well.
He knows, though. He's able to find at least one, buying his teammates a little bit of time. So Luke was in for the contest, but now you have to check up top, down low, left and right, everything. Arcity's inside the hill, spinning in circles to find some kills. Still contest time in the hill, Scum. Not able to win the next one-on-one, and the Legion finally able to get a breath of life inside the hill, keeping this game as close as possible, but it's still contest heavy. The Huntsman right back inside.
It's not about close, it's about getting some of this time here for Paris. As Gunless drops in, oh, Pierce! Not just once in a game, twice! Kismet, sit down, son. Beautiful from Gunless, and he's not done yet. Going on a tear. A wonderful display from him.
Oh, poor Kismet. He gets turned on like that, spawns up, and Gunless is just ready for it. Kills him twice in 5 seconds. Did a 720 in the duration, but 30-point lead for the Huntsmen. Paris Legion towards the hill first. Zed in a nice little spot, trying to be that cutoff man, and using the smoke for cover if he can. Does eventually get taken down, but Paris Legion in a good spot.
That was the key, right? The saving grace here is you still have control of the spawns, but there's one player pushing down low for Chicago Huntsmen. They're behind enemy lines. It's Gunless. Of course it's Gunless. It had to be him. He's still on that same 3 spree, so he's rotated completely across the map, and now Paris don't know about it. The squad spawns come into effect. Teammates spawning on top of him. Paris Legion, no idea. Yes, they're about to tie the game, but these kills are crucial. As Gunless is still alive, it takes a nade to shut him down. Zed with the triple, however, Huntsman with the favorable spawn.
And this is really just a beautiful response from the Paris Legion, able to find these kills, to read those spawns. Eventually, they're able to take the lead and trying to bump it up. The Huntsman, though, able to break through just a little bit, and we're effectively going to have a tied game going into new, as close as it could be. Back against the wall, the Paris Legion have their work cut out for them. A hell of a story, Ben, if they're able to take both the hard points in this series.
That would be absolutely bonkers. The problem they'll have is they still don't control the correct side for the new hill when it pops. So you really have to try and milk this hill for as much as it's worth and rotate as well. Control of the early side, early spawns, I should say. Huntsmen about to retake the lead. They can keep slaying this way. No one really able to find the trades quick enough as Kismet springs into life, but again, Paris Legion still spawning out. Chicago Huntsmen, 3 points away from taking the lead.
Luka just going to get shut down. Formal aggressive with that M4. Huntsman right now doing a nice job of putting pressure on this hill just to keep the Paris Legion kind of trapped in the back of the map. The fight for the scrap time, though, is still on.
And Denz is just going on a rampage this game. 31 and 13. It's a 4 spree. And bear in mind, he has almost 2 minutes of hill time as well. He is playing lights out. The final 7 seconds will be good for Paris, but this could be a crucial moment in the game. If you're Paris, if you can break this fast, maybe, just maybe, you can give yourself a nice cushion to maybe close out the game.
And this is it. They got players around back last time, and look at the Huntsman response. They have so many bodies in the back, but Zed gets the kill, trying to stay alive, and, well, Scump is there for the trade. Denz, though, is still near the hill. They're not quite to the back, but they are on the hill.
It's a 5 spree for Denz. Can he find more? There's number 6. Envoy could make it number 7. Denz needs help. I think he's run out of ammo with his primary, so he's left with nothing but the pistol. It's about buying time now for your teammates, but Denz only needs the pistol. A crazy spree from him. Buying time. A crucial play for Paris Legion. Denz is doing it all himself. Is his teammates there? The cavalry, the assistance he needs. Unfortunately not. Chicago control the hill.
Denz is a genius. He is a madman, and now you got Zed being annoying, fighting for the scrap inside the hill, and Zed goes big. That's 12 seconds he just get that the Huntsmen do not. Extends the lead, makes it that much easier later on, and you can already see the Legion. They're running to the right side of the map, all the way in the back, just in case they can't win it on P1.
Now here's the problem. You might not win it on P1, but you can't give up too much time either. It's such a difficult, delicate balance. You have to decide on exactly how you're going to play it. Yes, you want the spawns, but you don't want to give up too much time. You don't want to put yourself in a position where Chicago could even win on P2. So you have to be so intelligent. As things stand, Paris Legion with spawn control for the new hill, but Chicago in the hill, and they can win it. In fact, no, they can't win it here. If Paris break, though, they maybe could.
30 seconds on this hill is an immense amount of time. You can't afford to give it away, so Kismet makes sure he finds the kill, and he wants to get inside as well. Takes down Formal along the way. Shox is there for the kills on Envoy. Paris Legion, they have the spawns for the moment they have the hill.
That's the crucial part. If you can keep Chicago off the hill and hold the spawns for P2, you are in the driving seat to send us to a Game 5 as Scump surges forward, finds one. It's Shox that goes down. 224, 218. Realistically, you have one push that needs to come through, and it's a pinch starting to develop for the Huntsman. Envoy flies into the hill. There's still one more player at the top. That's Arcides. He finds Dens. Paris Legion, they're inside the hill. 20 points all they need.
And the Paris Legion, a player just spawned right behind two men from the Huntsman, so Arcides has to double back. He takes care of Dens, but you still got to get inside. 12 seconds away in the game is Paris.
Gotta go. You have one more push. Is anyone even going to be close? You got 7 seconds. Zed finds himself a triple, but it's Envoy coming in from the side. He should just be able to break in. Can he win the gunfights? Gunless is there. 248 contest. Gunless wins the fight. However, the trade's still coming through. Now it's Arcides' turn. He has control of the hill. Huntsman cannot win it here. If you're fast and if you're Paris Legion, you can rotate, or you can even try and play sneaky. Try and play for 5 seconds of scrap time. It's all you need to close it out, but Scump still alive in the hill. Zed will fall. Chicago survived, but it's about the rotation now for Paris Legion.
Gotta give up the hill. You gotta go. You gotta sprint across the map. Arcides is gonna be the first man nearby. Takes down Kismet. Has to keep going. Dens for the shutdown. The hill's gonna pop, and nobody's home. Formal taken down, and Paris Legion, against all odds, take down both hard points in the series.
Not how you would have seen this series go. Both hard points in favor of Paris Legion. They force a Game 5 against Chicago Huntsman. One map to decide if you're going to make it to the grand final.
And so much you could break down from that series. Luca is an enemy of light poles, is a massive fan of spawns. Getting that one in the back to help on the P2 rotation is great. But talk about the genius of Dens and the amazing plays by Zed on the 5th hill.
Brilliant.
Just staying alive. Like, you don't even have to get an immense amount of kills just to help break through. They were staying alive the first time they broke through for 25 seconds in the back before they made their move. And then you've Dens with a pistol dancing for 15, 20 seconds, whatever it was, is only able to find 2 kills, I think, once he's inside the hill, but stays alive for that long. And then the way that hill ended up panning out, Zed gets a double kill at the end to buy his team an extra 12 seconds. They had so many little things they did right. Such a smart team, Ben.
If Dens doesn't go for that contest, they lose. When you think about how that game
honestly, if Zed doesn't get that double kill, that's a 24-point swing.
You're absolutely right. The final score, of course, 250-239. There's a look at your stats. Zed, 38 and 31. Dens, 40 and 19. Double positive.
Bow down to Dens.
And probably one of the biggest plays in the game as well. Dens, a wonderful performance from him.
I mean, just tip your cap, see him in the search and destroy. There's only so much you can do. The man played lights out. That's a hell of a story for this Paris Legion team. They were expected to be the very bottom of the league. Everyone was very confident in that. They start out 2-0, get their 20 points, and now you go up against the Huntsmen, where the Huntsmen were undefeated in Respawn for such a long time, up until they dropped 1 domination. And now, twice in a row, on both hard points, they get it taken to them, Ben. I didn't see it coming.
And just to quickly kind of go over the storyline we had at the very start of this weekend, we had obviously Paris Legion versus New York Subliners. And we came in saying, well, yes, Paris went 2-0, but are they really the real deal? Yes. Yes, they are. I think that answers a lot of questions. When you're taking 2 hard points against Chicago Huntsmen, you're doing something right. Now, though, can you take this series? Can you get into a grand final? That's the question. Of course, for London, the home team here, a grand final was just out of reach. And you may have seen the kind of scenes post-game. Wuskin obviously took it to heart. Family here as well. Wanted to do it for the London crowd. Definitely took him. Of course, heartbroken. Sorry to the people supporting. Can't believe it. GG's Dallas. The Twins, they don't take losses very well, that's for sure. But I heard Nameless kind of talk about it a little bit. They really are solidifying themselves as a very, very talented team early in the CoD League. Of course, I just want to win. Just wants to bring home a chip for his team.
Yeah, there's no Cinderella story of those guys getting their first chip at like the homestand event.
Would have been nice.
But from what we saw from them in Minnesota, I certainly wasn't expecting them to come out with full force and win the event. They exceeded my expectations of how good they look. With how phenomenal Wuskins has been, I have a lot more confidence in this team long term. I think they're going to be a force for many months to come.
I feel that maybe why it hit Wuskin as hard as it did, because obviously he heard the crowd, the MVP chant. He was playing that well. He heard it from himself in a post-game interview. Crowd getting cheeky. Like it. But in the post-game interview, they want a song. They want a song. Maybe in a little bit. I'll join you guys for the final. Don't worry. We'll have many a song in the final. But as I was saying, in terms of Wuskin, you look at how he was able to really perform very, very well. Overall, just a kind of sad story for him. But I think in terms of winning, could be on the cards.
I mean, yeah, just, don't get reverse swept, and you'd be in another spot in. You had great opportunities, but either way, it'll haunt them. It'll make them more hungry to bounce back later on. And again, this team will be a force the entire year.
Yeah, most definitely will. Excited to see maybe when that first championship could come through for them. We'll, of course, be back in London. Maybe that's their fate, to win it on home territory. But back to the storyline, and the big story, of course, is this semifinal. Game 5. Paris Legion, Chicago Huntsmen. It's Paris that take the hard points, and now we're here.
And what a potentially amazing switch up of just defying expectations as much as possible. Like, let's say Chicago Huntsmen get this win. They just won a series where they dropped both the hard points and had the clutch up, well, not clutch up in the first search and destroy, run through the other team, but then clutch up in the game number 5 as well.
Right.
I wouldn't have seen that coming. And then from Paris Legion, just to get the win, they go from expected being 12th in the league, clear cut, to potentially seeing themselves in the grand finals. If they take it all at the first tournament of franchising, then like, come on.
I mean, you might still not have them.
That's the Cinderella story.
You might not still have them at number 1. You can maybe make the argument of a couple of teams that aren't here, maybe still being above, but
I mean,
either way.
But still, like, that is insane.
That
so I don't even know if we have a trophy, but it's like hoist the metaphorical first trophy, whatever it's going to be.
Well, Game 5 will be a search and destroy Arklov peak. It's been Gunless who, so far for me, has been very, very impressive amongst, of course, some of his teammates, specifically in search and destroy Envoy. But all of this really didn't mean too much by the end of it. It was disgusting. The best part was, I think you called it out perfectly. He actually gets Kismet again.
I felt so bad. Yeah, you get turned on, you go back for the instant challenge. Gunless just says, thank you very much. Like, for the way that the Huntsmen are shooting, I cannot express my surprise and like, how impressed I am with Paris Legion. You have players getting turned on repeatedly in different maps.
Doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter. You're not going on tilt your state. Like, whatever Josh is telling these guys in between maps, he's got to be the most stable hype man of all time.
Now, one thing I do want to point out specifically for Paris Legion, we're heading to our club peak, Game 5. Now, this is one map that we casted them, and if you remember, Kismet pulled out the sniper rifle. Now, you may be tempted to try and counter-snipe Formal, sure, but it was a slow performance from Kismet with the snipe. Now, his teammates said they felt that it was worthwhile, but they did end up losing that map. So I'm very curious to see what we are going to get in the search and destroy, because one thing's for sure, Game 2, Chicago Huntsmen completely blew them away.
I will say, though, even though if it wasn't electric the first time we saw it, that's the only time we've seen them play. If they're at home scrimming against all these EUAM teams, whoever it's going to be, and it works for them, if it ain't broke, you don't need to try and fix it. So,
and that was launch weekend, so there's been some time.
And I definitely trust this team. Again, a well-oiled machine. They're making incredibly smart plays. They got a nice coaching staff behind them as well. So if I see the sniper in his hands, I just want to see if he can kill Formal, you know?
I mean, that's the fight, right?
I just want to see someone try.
That's the important fight. So Formal, no snipe for him. Does Kismet have one? To our observing gods?
The age-old question.
Can you confirm or can you deny? Does Kismet have a sniper rifle?
Hey, that's
he does.
not Kismet.
No, wait.
No, it's the player in front of him. No, that's his teammate. This is Lucas.
Oh, so they relinquished control. They listened to us.
Yes, the young Aussie god.
I'm sorry, Kismet. I completely roasted you guys, but they've changed it. As Luca, it's his duty. Sniper in hand. Let's see if maybe the first blood could come for Kismet. A little more aggressive. Of course, Zed does have bomb in hand, and there's the nade. Formal finds first blood for Chicago.
Nice first blood. That means you're going to be necessary to try to get this response. They do have a bit of pressure, but the bomb being down on site, the player up in top, Grandma's, is going to be able to sit there and watch it the entire time. Luca needs to find something. A couple options, maybe if they overpeak, he can find, but Gunless shreds him and takes him down.
So that now is a 5 versus 3 for Chicago Huntsmen. Scump can maybe find one more pick. Of course, Paris Legion are on the attack here. So they still need to get that bomb down. It is fallen by the ASAC. Of course, you'll see it right there, the indicator. Of course, these CoD sensors maybe tingling. And we find the pick to potentially close this round out. Well, he's going to get it. Dens jumps.
Nice.
Arstees makes him pay. Kismet also falls. A flawless, or almost flawless round from Chicago.
You just had to say it, Ben.
I did.
You had to jinx him at the worst, well, not the worst possible time. If you're going to jinx him, might as well be in a round that you are 100% going to win. But clean cut rounds. I mean, shout outs obviously to the sniper of RCDs who actually managed to find that final kill. Stole it from his teammate. Cheeky stuff, but I think Gunless is really the standout player for me right there, just to win the gunfight on Luka. Make sure the odds don't get evened up. Like, the nades are great for the first blood, but make sure you don't throw anything away to the sniper.
And just to retract to game 2, if you remember, it was Arstees that really had the strong performance in that Search and Destroy. 2-0 start for him in the first round for Chicago. And the key to success, really, for Paris is going to be slowing him down. He really has been a force to be reckoned with in these Search and Destroys, as Luke almost finds himself that first blood. A little unlucky there not to get it, but Shocks will find first blood, and it's Gunless that falls.
And no one's repeaking Luke again anytime soon, unless it's going to be out our pit. Shocks with that first gunfight, well, wins one. And if anyone peeks now, RCD as well has outer pit under lock and key.
As soon as you get that control, the control of vision, it's so important. But on the flip side, if you're Paris Legion, you don't necessarily need to challenge as well. That's about as free a kill as Scump's ever going to get in his career. And oh!
Double kill.
There's number 2. Kismet does find one as he hits the flank. Meanwhile, mid-map, Dens will fall.
Let's go.
That now leaves Kismet all by himself for the 1v2. Makes it 1v1. Scump versus Kismet. And if you are Scump, you will need to plant the bomb at some point, or of course just find the kill. 55 seconds left. Kismet known for his search.
And Scump doing the smart thing as well. Looks like he's planning for the opposite side, so Kismet, even when he gets planted, yeah, he has nothing to work with. Now Scump has many options. Just playing a power position, play up top, and Kismet just found a boomstick.
Now, how patient is Kismet willing to be with 34 seconds left? The plant is obviously for up top window. He has the sniper rifle out. The stunners are going to connect. Now he'll spot Scump, and well, he has the sniper rifle in his back pocket. You just have to wait for the repeat. Now, how disciplined is Scump going to be? The stun check and the hit marker. Oh, Lord. That is so unfortunate. 15 seconds, Kismet lines it up again.
Let's go.
Wins the fight. Chicago 2, Paris Legion 0.
The most fortunate and unfortunate hit marker from either perspective that we have maybe seen this year. That was Kismet making the perfect play. Scump, though, just too tough to die. The Huntsman will be very happy for it. Scump 4-1, made the nice play that round to pick up 2 massive kills just to open things up, and goes clutch in the end.
Scump 4-1. Rely on the king that round. He delivers the goods. 1v1. Arstees watching the cross. Kismet will fall for first blood. An instant response though from Dens, and well, Gunless will find Shocks. Chicago Huntsmen looking good here in the game 5, and it's ironic because it's not how I would have foreseen this series going at all.
Not in the slightest with Paris Legion. They've been dealt difficult hands before. They've had some crazy comebacks. We're not to the crazy portion of it yet, but in a 3v5, it is a difficult situation to manage.
I mean, it's another one of these rounds, really, where Chicago just take full control of the map, and it makes your life so difficult. You're not only relying on just finding a pick if you are in the 3v5, but then you have to follow it up with potentially another one relatively quickly just to level the playing field. And then, of course, you have to plant the bomb if you want Paris Legion. So, not an easy challenge as, well, they get the information on Luca, and Scump launches the nade out. Another pick for him.
That's great coordination. Envoy heard the player, never got eyes on him. Hits the nade, Scump falls up maybe a few seconds later, but enough to time it out for the kill, just to make it even more difficult for the Paris Legion to try to clutch up this round. And now you make the approach to A, you're going to need to find at least one crazy double kill.
30 seconds remain. You still, of course, do have to plant the bomb. But it's Scump currently at 5-1. You're going to have to try and shut down here. Watching the out lane. Pick does come in from Dens. Arshty's falls, but 15 seconds on the clock. Now you have the information, everything you need. You just have to check the A site as Zed tries to cross. Dens, no time to plant. Round over. Chicago extend their lead. 3 rounds to 0.
Scump with some beams as well. Finds a double kill at the end. Player just get caught in La La Land. He gets taken down and just take the one-on-one. And that was Dens that had the hot hand over in that past hard point. Scump, though, at least shuts him down in that one-on-one. 3 rounds in a row, full steam ahead. I believe it was 6-2, the score of the St. Petrograd S&D.
And I believe it was Chicago that went 3-0 up in that one as well. So a bit of a trend.
Scump it 7-1 in 3 rounds. Bumping the numbers up.
And a huge 1v1 clutch as well.
Shout out to the hit marker.
Yeah.
He'll take it.
Oh, he'll definitely take it. Kismet, on the other hand, is probably a little upset about that. Zed 0-3, Luca 0-3. It's not game 5 as well. Arshty's the outside lane with that sniper rifle again. But it's Envoy. He was the playmaker in game 2. Is he going to make the play here in round 4? Not going to be the case. Shocks shuts him down.
Incredibly important first blood to get, but the Huntsman
moving.
still 3 players surging forward. The round is not potentially out. Scump's gotten double kills here before. Pops the dead silence, making the exact same play.
Luca will find the snipe, so donut for him. It's his first kill. Formal tries to take the fight unsuccessfully. Scump, that's about another free kill. Checks the same spot where he got the double kill a few rounds prior. Double not there this time. Now, the 4 versus 3. Still advantage Parish Legion. Time ticking. Chicago need to plant that bomb, and they've dedicated themselves over towards A, but Dens with the pick on towards Formal might be just enough to secure this round, if, of course, they can deal with Scump.
Looking for a kill, and Gunless is towards the bomb, but he doesn't want to plant it yet. You need to find some picks. He's able to spot the second player as well.
Let's go.
Gets the headshot, and no trades are in. Now, just get the bomb down. It already is. He's got the bomb planted. He got a 2v2.
And he has the cross. He's in the perfect spot. At 10-1, Scump is taking over game 5. Finally, Den shuts him down. It's a 1v1. Gunless is there. The king is taking over.
Scump with some absurd plays in Search and Destroy. Massive 1v1. That's a round where he gets the double kill when he's pushing up there. Finds 4 in that round. 11-2 in 4 rounds. Bump those numbers up, baby.
I was going to say, his Search KD's going to look a little nice.
I think after Minnesota, he had like a 2.12. They were 1-1.
Keep
I think
rising.
2 players on the team had like a 0.4 and a 0.6, and he's sitting above a 2. He's got a 5.5.
Good maths. He's at currently 0-4 for Parish Legion. He won't take the bomb, but I mean, that's got to be a deflating round for Parish. You had the man advantage. You had a 2-man advantage before Scump makes the play for Chicago Huntsman. Gunless looking to make a play defensively. There's a first blood. Instant trade, however. Parish Legion just need to get 1 round on the board. Try and build upon it. And speaking of 1, as I mentioned, Zed on that donut. You'd love to see him get a kill. Build upon that as well. Get your foothold in the game. There's Kismet. I mean, right there's 1. Should find 2. Unfortunately not. So the trade comes through. 3v3.
Make sure you move closer to your screens. Catch all this action. Pit control in the hands of Legion, but RCDs can tell. Players just behind that wall, not trying to give anything up. And keep in mind, if Scump's alive on the map, well, he just gets taken down as soon as you say it. The biggest sigh of relief. The Legion can breathe, but they still need to convert.
Envoy just missed him.
Time ticking. Less than 40 seconds left here in round 5. Arshty's with the pick. Now you find yourself a 2v2, and Zed did have bomb. Bear that in mind, so it's going to make Parish Legion's job a little harder. And the stun hit marker is enough for Arshty's to know that that push is definitely coming through. Envoy, of course, is a little worried about mid-map and may actually just try and rotate, but Arshty's isn't missing with a sniper either. Parish Legion, you've been plucked apart here in game 5. Round by round, kill by kill. Dominance when it matters most.
Just the way everyone predicted. The Chicago Huntsmen, who have been struggling in hardpoint all year long, needing to clutch up in the search and destroys where they have been nothing short of dominant. 11-2 in round count in this series alone. 11-3 by Scump. They're getting first blood. It doesn't matter. Looking for the hot 6-0.
Their search practice has definitely paid off.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Gotta close out, though. Gotta close out.
Scump 11-3. Really, you look at the rest of the stats, and they're pretty good as well, but Denver's going to have a lot of work to do early, and Paris is going to try and make the comeback. First blood, but it's a very quick trade from Gunless. Bomb planted. Chicago looking to end this one quickly. Kismet doesn't get his nade through the window, so no one even going to be damaged inside the site. It's going to be a hard one for Legion to retake. 30 seconds. Kismet not going to come fight Scump in this form. You just can't kill him. Gunless shuts down Luca. Now just 2 players remain. Zed and Shox for Paris Legion. It's a 2 versus 4 with 20 seconds on the clock. Chicago have set up perfectly. Now it's down to Zed. The 1v3 slides across. Chicago make a statement in game 5. 6-0 victory, and it was Scump who led from the very beginning. One of the best game 5s he's had in quite some time.
Tied for one of the most dominant search and destroy performances we have seen so far this year. I think we've had a couple 6-0s. Just tally that one to the list. 13 kills from Scump. And keep in mind, even that domination was the most dominant game we have seen so far this year. So it goes to a game 5, but in the end, was there ever any doubt?
I mean, it's a scary Chicago Huntsman, that's for sure. But credit again to Paris Legion. If you keep doubting them, they keep showing you signs that yes, they are a top team. Their hardpoint game specifically was phenomenal.
Delightfully impressive. I mean, great plays the whole way around. Sometimes you just have a guy like Dance going massive, dropping 40 bombs, going absolutely crazy. Sometimes it's the incredibly smart plays, but funnily enough, they said they needed a steal respawn. They took 2, and it wasn't enough. Again, that dominating search and destroy performance, which does make this finals, Ben. Oh, it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be very spicy, that's for sure. That's going to be everything from myself and Chance. We'll now throw it down to Frankie on the main stage.
Thank you very much, boys. Excellent job this weekend, by the way. Now, this is your instant reaction presented by PlayStation. I've nabbed Envoy for a good old British natter. First of all, talk me through what happened on those hard points, because Paris Legion, they surprised you.
Yeah, I mean, they put up a good fight.
Before.
Yeah, we actually haven't played them at all online or anything because they were in Europe for a long time. But so we really had no idea about their tendencies or what maps they liked. So we just stuck to our guns and we came out with a dub.
We have got Dallas Empire facing you in the grand finals next. Last time you faced them 3-1, Minnesota 3-1. What do you think the result's going to be this time?
The result doesn't matter. The map count doesn't matter. We're just going to come out with the W.
Of course, that is always the way, but do you have to change anything up, or can you just keep doing what you're doing?
We're just going to do what we know best and play some good Call of Duty.
Well, thank you very much. We love to see some great Call of Duty here in London. Congratulations, Envoy. We're going to see you very soon in the final. That was your instant reaction presented by PlayStation. We've got that grand final, Chicago Huntsmen versus Dallas Empire, after the break.
Free for all. Let's see what you got.
This is technical apparel designed with the highest caliber athletes in the esports world with performance and confidence.
Enemy chopper gunner on approach. Enemy UAV overhead. for emergency airdrop.
We are live in New York City.
We've got a UAV on station, ready for flyover. UAV entering the AO. Enemy precision airstrike, take cover. Enemy sentry gun active. Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. Enemy Wilson deployed.
The official energy drink of the Call of Duty League. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Metro by T-Mobile. Complete your mission with the best deal in wireless.
Enemy care package inbound. 30 seconds. Time's up. Move your asses.
Good evening, YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us all day. We're here to
Shield turret ready to deploy.
day, of course. And you know what? Do you know what time it is? Do you know what day this is?
What's going on? We're getting turned, baby. God, you're gonna have to get turned with us.
It's game day, presented by Game Fuel, of course.
Fall back, soldier. Fight another
Right now
day.
because I'm so excited for this final that is happening here, gentlemen, behind us.
Made the jet ski noise. That's what you say when you're on a jet ski.
Woo!
Doug Martin.
This is really good. Wow, that's nice. Gents, of course we do have a final on our hands. We did just see Chicago Huntsmen tear the Paris Legion's dreams apart there on the main stage, going straight to a game 5, but I've got to say, what a turnaround from what we expected here from the Huntsmen.
That was the exact opposite of what we expected in so many ways. I mean, in your keys to victory, you said they have to come out and they have to steal a respawn.
Yeah.
Then you go back to the Zed interview and he says we're the best domination team in the entire bloody planet, pretty much. So the Dom goes the way, obviously, of the Huntsmen. Then a team in the Huntsmen who have not dropped a hard point up to that moment, gonna lose both of them. So they don't steal a respawn, they rob the bank. And then the Search, they go the other way as well.
They lose the series. That was absolutely mind-blowing. Paris had it, and they weren't able to close out Game 5. They actually got destroyed 6-0, like bodied by them. And you know, the way that Huntsman played that search and destroy on both maps was surgical. It was almost perfect. That round by Scump, where he was inside of the creek, picks up all 4 of those kills. The anticipation, knowing where players are going to be, on top of that, winning those gunfights and getting ready, not allowing them to trade the kill on him. That is next level Call of Duty. That's something we haven't seen Scump do in a very long time. That was amazing search and destroy gameplay.
If Seth looks like this all year, I mean, that would be one of the craziest things ever. And I'm going to say this right now for Gunless. I'm saying this for Pierce. Seth's Mangekyo Sharingan was awoken in that matchup. He was able to see into the minds of his opponents. It was truly fantastic to
It was
watch.
also the teamwork, too. Like, they were pinching, setting up those pinches on them, getting those first bloods, spreading the map, pushing it, doing what they needed to do. That was unreal by Huntsman.
It is indeed, gentlemen, and of course, Scump seems to be back in top form. Like we've seen him before, he's back this year, this season, and I'm loving everything about it. Now,
Free
we
for all.
do have Chicago getting set
Let's
up
see
on
what
that
you got.
Wednesday. But that's what it takes to be a pro here. We're going to have a look at the highlights here from Chicago Huntsmen so far this season and how they've been performing. Because, gentlemen, across the board, really, from the start of the season, they really have upped their game. Each different event, you can see them already getting hyped straight away in launch weekend. What have you made so far of their debut into the primary Call of Duty League?
I mean, obviously they're fantastic, but the thing for me that it keeps going through my head, you can talk about individual skill as much as you want with any of these teams. Every single squad that's here has so much individual skill. The really interesting thing is what actually makes this entire roster not only be good on paper, what makes it work. We talk about some of the personalities that are on this team, and we can also talk about some of the people who are on this roster who are living up to their potential on other teams. But here we are seeing everybody fire on all cylinders, and why is what I want to know.
I mean, I think Destroy, they come out today, they play a team who's been pretty solid in Search and Destroy, sitting at 4-2, and they just dominate. You know, where they do drop some of those hard points, you got to really look at it. On that game number 4, they were getting outslayed by about 20+ kills. It came down to the absolute wire. So they're doing the right things at hardpoint. You get a few more kills, which is bound to happen with players of that caliber individually. Like, they're going to be fine. If their search stays like this, they are going to be a top 2 team all year long.
We don't talk about coaches all that often, but I'm really curious if it's just Sender's coaching style that is really working, right? Like, think about some of the other coaches that they had. 500 IQ people, a ton of them, right? Which is always what I expected them to need. I've gamed with Sender a whole bunch. He's like a parental
He's
parent.
a laid-back vibe.
Yeah. He really, no matter what you're doing with him, while you're playing with him, he makes it very nice. The vibe's really good. Maybe that's the type of coaching style that some of these players need.
The campaign, I'm pretty sure I've seen him in the past. Really good most of the guys. It's quite clearly paying off. But Nameless, guess what? Oh yeah, it is. Nameless, I want to talk about Chicago first.
Yeah, they need to replicate what they did in the last 2 games that they played against Dallas. So here's sort of a trend. They lose a different game. Search and Destroy on hardball, and the next time they played them, it was Hackney Domination, where they let a player sneak through all the way to their home base. So, but they'll lose hardpoint like you know. 3 times in a row is very difficult. I don't care who it is. If you beat a team twice like that, and it's not much experience playing against you, they're going to make the necessary adjustments, and it's going to be a tall task to beat them. So, let's talk about Dallas.
Indeed, game fuel keys to victory for Dallas Empire.
So they need to come out and win that game on hardpoint. You know, in that last series, we saw Chicago lose 2 hardpoints. They were undefeated prior to that. If Dallas can come out and win that first hardpoint, they have a great chance of winning this series, because in Search and Destroy, we know how strong Empire can be. It's not going to be as easy as it just was for Huntsman to wipe the floor with these guys in Search and Destroy. That's what they need to do. They need to take command of this series early on and solidify themselves on that series as a true champion.
One thing that Nameless squad, and even it's a preparation thing too. You can see one of the reasons that match maybe went in a direction that we weren't that these are teams that haven't really gotten to play each other that much, so the unexpected at this point, you're starting to know your opponent's dance moves.
Yeah, I mean, you played matches here this weekend and launch weekend, so these teams are going to be prepared for each other. And guess what was Dallas? What was Dallas just doing? They were sitting in the back watching that match. Like, they know going into the Search and Destroy. The veto process just went down. I'm expecting a banger of a series.
Yeah, they were looking at the posters up in the bedroom, really thinking about each other.
And what a story, right? Prim versus T2P.
Indeed. He wants this. And veterans here. What they need to do, they're going to watch, like I said, like a hawk, and they're going to take that to the main stage. But we're going to have a look right now at our US Air Force quick scope, of course, because we need to compare these two teams. We need to we obviously have Chicago Huntsmen racking up some points very, very nicely. A bonus 10 is on the board for them tonight, but will they collect that? That is the question. How is Chicago Huntsmen realistically here, gents?
It's going to be
Enemy
difficult.
UAV overhead.
Beating a team 3 times is going to be super hard. And, you know, coming off that last game, they did just lose on these times. He's got a lot of matches under their belt. Illy and Shotzi are way more comfortable. We saw Shotzi come out of his shell. He was playing great. We saw Illy have a crazy performance alongside Boop in their last series. Like, the more these guys play on that stage, the more warmed up they're going to get. They're going to just get better and better. These guys are still very young, man. You give them some time, they're going to dominate.
I've said it underrated stuff that people just saw on the first week. They look even better here on the stage, but when we do look side of Huntsman, they also got to bring Papa Bear home a nice birthday gift.
Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover.
Gentlemen, we're going to have a quick break right now, but when we come back, we're doing the
When Overwatch asked me to design their official team kits, I was honored. This was an opportunity to create gear that for the first time...
Enemy sentry gun active.
Apparel designed with specs to provide the highest caliber athletes in the esports world with the performance and comfort that they demand.
And just so you know, her arm gun is clipped, but it says LOVE, so...
Designed to highlight each team's uniqueness, yet resonate with players and fans in the US, all over the world. And of course, gear that needs to look as if performance inside and outside the arena. This is it. The official Overwatch Nation. Designed by Seiko and engineered for gamers.
Enemy VTOL in the AO. Enemy shield turret on the field. Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover. Got a UAV on station, ready for flyover.
Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official energy drink of the Call of Duty League. Scuff Gaming, the official controller.
Got a sentry gun on station.
Complete your mission with the best skill in wireless.
Enemy, keep it up. Got a VTOL on station, ready to deploy.
Evening, it's game day presented by Game Fuel, and we have our London final heading up on stage right now. These two teams, Chicago Huntsmen versus Dallas Empire, have battled their way onto this main stage to make it here tonight and perform to the best of their abilities. But the question is, which one is going to be going
Less than a
home
minute.
without all of this? A little bit hype. That's what we're here for, guys.
Looked like outside of Dallas before we even get here, right? And quite a lot of people kept bringing that up, and I think they've already at least silenced that.
Yeah, that's huge, right? Like, you want to get ahead of points right away, and if they're able to take...
Tracker 3-2 on station. Go for task.
Being in a great position right there.
Time's up, move your arm.
Do you know what? We're going to head right now. shine in pretty much the last couple of games that they've had. Is that enough to kind of carry the momentum Chicago have been holding pretty much all weekend, if not?
Basically, I feel like you look at their schedule and you think about those matches, and it's really easy to say that they haven't been performing. And then when it starts to lighten up a little bit and they're not only going head down into the toughest teams, they look completely fine. They look beyond fine.
I just think the improvements that we've seen out of Empire and the players like Illy, players like Shotzi coming out of their shell, playing a lot better. I think in this series, after seeing those maps and modes, I'm going to make a bold claim and say that they're going to win this one 3-2. They're going to win this series. I just have a gut feeling.
He has a gut feeling, people. He's an expert for a reason, you know. So I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I think it's too difficult to tell, especially this early in the season. I can't pick. I can't pick. Do you know what I can pick? This insane highlight from Scumpy. Nameless, you were talking about it earlier.
That was good. That was really good, Lottie.
This was amazing, and well, we just cut out of it, but we're going to see this 1v1 victory that he gets right here. Kismet actually gets an unfortunate hit marker on the Scump. Scump gets a little bit lucky and ends up picking him off the bomb, but yeah, in that round that, you know, we were just looking at in the highlights, he was in the cave there, or excuse me, in the creek there, and he picks up 4 kills back to back. He was untradeable, guns the guy out of this cliff heady, and just dominates the round. It was absolutely incredible, the anticipation, the gunfight wins, and this little jump shot here is a bit cheeky out of Scump.
I mean, looking at the way that he is set up there, his positioning is perfect. He has read them so well, but only his patience as well, coming through there massively. You can push. You can sometimes push a little too hard and give your position away, and then obviously you get traded out. But he was going for it, but in the best way possible.
He looked like Nicolas Cage in Next. He was absolutely seeing the future. The question is he going to be able to do it again? Seth, the new Nicolas Cage.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Well, we're really excited for this final. But you know what? We need to meet our finalists on that main stage right now. Frankie, we're heading over to you.
Thank you, Lottie. Now, first up is a team whose campaign has only just begun, the Chicago Huntsmen.
He's going to get caught, but they line up for Scump. And Scump, the king! This is dangerous. 10 in a row. Gunless keeps on rolling. 9. Formal hits the shot. Octane doesn't have to move. He goes. Oh my lord!
For our second finalist, the last 2 encounters with the Huntsmen have not gone their way, but maybe third time's gonna be the charm for Dallas Empire.
Kill, but on the flank, it's gonna be Clayster. And Clayster's gonna get bumped. 4 gonna drop free. They're gonna get the clear. Gotta go fast. You gotta go quick. You gotta go that way out. It's chaos.
All right, London, let's hear it for your 2 final teams, Chicago Huntsmen and Dallas Empire! Mixed reaction there. I heard more noise for Dallas Empires. I know what those boo means. Now, let's head back to Lottie and the guys on the desk because I need to hear their predictions.
Damon, come up here really quick. Damon's over there. Come up here real quick. I want to hear your prediction, man.
Here we go. Here we go. We got the king, Karma, here right now. 3 rings.
I think, realistically, Chicago, because we had very close series versus Dallas, and we were playing pretty poorly.
Okay.
Statement.
Thank you, man.
I mean, did we win a search versus Dallas? Almost.
You almost did.
We almost did.
You were up 5-2.
And we are very bad at search.
I wouldn't say you're very bad. You're getting there.
Well, we were getting there, but
I think you guys have the
I don't know.
most
I would
round
say
wins,
Chicago, and since they're off a hot win, I would say it'd be mind-blowing if they didn't win, but you never know. They have a lot of veterans on Dallas, and it is possible.
All right, I'm going to take that as my prediction. I'm going to use Damon's prediction.
I already told you it's going to be 3-2 Dallas.
Karma, I want to know one
third time
thing.
is the charm, dude. It's so hard to beat.
I want to know one thing before you go.
But I think we're going to have a great match, but I think Chicago will win, and if not, well, maybe we're better than we think.
Karma, before you go, I want to know one thing just before you go.
Back.
Can we see you guys improve and come through this season hotter than ever?
Us? Well, we have a lot to figure out. Our respawns are 50-50. We're really good at domination though, 4-1. Our S&D, well, we finally won an S&D, but everything else, I don't know. We're really 50-50 right now, but that's kind of why I think Chicago will win, because we almost took Dallas in the first one. The second one, I'd say, was not as close as the first one. So I don't know. I think Chicago is just a stronger team overall.
Love it. Do you know what, Karma? I can't wait to see you guys back again. Let's go. The honesty is unreal up here. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Thank you, Karma. Right, do you know what? We're going to get right now to our casters because our game is ready. But
as well.
what an amazing game day by Game Fuel. These two are just talking next to me. They don't even care. But they're just very excited, obviously, about this game. But gentlemen, up in the box, casting this insane final. Tell me how you guys are feeling.
I feel great. It's like 10 p.m., but I'm feeling good. The caffeine has been flowing as we get ready for what? This is our first home series final. Our London home.
Much better. Much better. I agree with them. But
I do talk too much. Unfortunately, I get paid money to talk, but as we gotta get into this, and this has been what? This is the third time we're gonna see these teams play. The third time already in just a couple of weeks. It's an instant rivalry because of just Krim and Seth alone has created that. But let's take a look at the head-to-head. And what I think is crucial here, we can take a look at the KD. So the big thing is what? They split the searches, they split the DOMs. The big standout is that Dallas has not been able to win a hard point against them, but we just saw Huntsman lose both their hard points in the last series. So, are they a little vulnerable, Joe, there?
I don't know, man. I think we underestimate how good of a respawn team Paris Legion is. And for Chicago, is their first series of the day. They come off that hot win. They win both search and destroys. I mean, they are 4-0 against Dallas Empire in hardpoint right now. And I love what Nameless said. I think map 1 is so important for the Dallas Empire. They have to get a respawn under their belt in this series.
All right, well, Joe, we did Paris, New York, their second matchup earlier today. You said to me probably 5 times, it is harder to beat a team the second time. This is now the third time.
3 times.
How much do you think, with your pro player experience, does that apply to this particular matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You're going to continue to make adjustments, but with what we just saw stats-wise, there can't be a 0.3 difference in the hard points, right? It's not like the games were close. The game that was close in Minnesota was this first map, that hardpoint Azir Cave. So it's not a map we saw. A lot of teams got away from it in the veto process. So maybe what Dallas is thinking is, you know what, they don't have a lot of reps on this weekend. Let's get out hot, let's get out fast, and maybe they can take map 1.
Yeah, the first 2 maps mimic what we saw in Minnesota, correct? Yep. So what, we're gonna go to Cave, and then we go to our club. Now, what's interesting about the map 2 when we get there is, when these 2 teams first played our club in Minnesota, Huntsman got smoked. Yeah, it was a 6-1 that got dominated, but we just watched Huntsman look very, very good on that in map 5. You saw the highlights from Scump. They look very, very good. And, all the chatter we heard about the time they were putting into search, it seems like we've seen some improvements there. I think that's going to be a real eye-opener, is how that game 2 goes.
Yeah, you know who else was watching that? Dallas Empire.
Yeah,
they're in the background, right? Just writing down strategies. They know the tendencies now of Chicago, where people are playing, where their sort of default setups are. So
that's a good point.
I think that's a great veto for Dallas, because you're confident in it, and you just watch what changes that they made probably to try to beat you later on in this tournament like we're about to see.
Is there anything more important than the hard points, though, considering Dallas hasn't been able to take one yet?
Is there anything more? I mean, trying to, win that domination, right? It's one that they split that game 3. It could be such a big swing map, and we just saw that. I mean, Chicago, they looked great on that Petra.
Well, what we were talking about, the maps and modes now presented by the U.S. Air Force, maps 1 and 2, what we saw in Minnesota as they matched up. Both DOMs they played on Hackney. Now they're going to be going to Petro. So a bit of a difference there. We've seen both squads on Piccadilly as well, but not against each other within this. Oh, wait, no, we did see them against each other, right? The Piccadilly, the game 5.
Yeah, we saw them yesterday.
Yes, correct. So there's a lot of rematches already within these couple of weeks of matchup we've seen between these 2 squads, but I don't know. It's hard to down Huntsman right now. I know they had a very tough series, but I think that was good for them in the sense of they did sit around a long time today because they won their 2 matches yesterday. They got into the bracket play right away. They sat around, but they had a very long series. So I don't think there can be any excuses about not being warm, not being hot. Like, they had an hour and a half, 2-hour series to get things going.
I just think it's crazy because one of the sort of keys for the old Optic dynasty, right, that T2P, your Crim and your Karma, the way you beat them in a series was always taking search and destroy. So the fact that they were just able to win both, right? They were put to the test. They lost 2 hard points.
True.
Just says so much to me about this team.
All right, Joe. It is time. Here we go. It is the London Home Series final. Our first ever home series final that we've had for the 2020 season. And it could not be a better matchup. It's Huntsman going up against Empire. It's game day presented by Game Fuel, and it is time to get into it. Can Empire win a hard point? Can they do it against the Huntsman?
Again, this was a close one in Minnesota. Most caves are, but yeah, Chicago, they're coming off a very hot map number 5. Dallas had to wait around, but they had a reverse sweep of their own. So both of these teams in the semis, you know, winning those game 5s, crucial.
Arcides, hot to end that last series. Started slow. Like, he got smoked. Remember, it's like, what, he was 9-28 or something at some point in the beginning or late game of that map 1, but really came alive over the course of it. Last time they played it, Huntsman get the 50-point W. What can they do here? And if I remember correctly, where they really dominated was inside a cave, right? Like, that's where they were getting the early rotations. Envoy's been a master of that as of late. Inside cave, they were so good, but Hook of Empire is able to get in there early. Now, can he take a couple of gunfights? Great job staying alive. As I said that, he almost put a Simtex into his own eye socket, but he gets away with his life, and now he's here early with 15 seconds left on the rotation into cave.
This is great for Dallas Empire. They're holding that cave east hill, that top right part of your minimap where all those white arrows are spawning, and they also didn't give Chicago a lot of time, right? You would have to take a lot of time and feel good about it if you were Chicago, because you don't have control of this next hard point. So we're about to pop, and now for Chicago, we know how difficult it is to flip these spawns. The best case scenario, you get on the hill, maybe you spawn to trap them back tunnel.
That was a huge pick, though. Arcides taking Clay out of that power position behind cover with the M4's massive. He gets picked, so that line of sight with the M4 goes down, and they bust on through. You do not see that kind of break on this hard point typically that quickly. And now they might not get a lot of time out of this, but they got them out of the hard point. You've got about 25 seconds run off, and you've only earned 5 or so points if you're Empire.
Yeah, again, they're in these power positions, and they're just trying to flood Dallas through the back cave, but Clayster, he's able to find a double. Just trying to stay alive as Envoy, Arcides are picking apart his team. Now he's the last member left, and like you said, yeah, I mean, you've only earned 10 points here if you are Dallas, so a great job by the Huntsmen. As the rest of Chicago, the rest of Dallas, which will start to rotate towards that third hill, towards down low field.
Good rebound from Clay and Empire there to attack on the final 30 or so, because Clay was that first guy picked that kind of opened things, but he comes off spawn, then kills 5 in a row to get that remaining time, as he's already pushed out to 10 and 3. But over to Scump we go. Nice shots at range, but he's greeted by a Simtex from Illy almost instantly. Let's see what it looks like out inside a field.
We do have Illy going on a big pinch right now, and he wins his one-on-one against Gunless, so we'll see what will happen here. He's trying to stay alive. Formal does pick him up. But similar to what Chicago did on the second hill, Dallas Empire, even though they didn't have the early rotation, they have the positioning. They're doing a good job at least creating these kills around the hill.
And this is where you want to be. You want to be set up top broken with an AR. Like, this is your perfect spot to make sure they're not going to get any time. So a couple times we've gone to Clayster over the last 60 to 90 seconds, and he has been in that power spot, the one that needs to make the plays, and he's been doing a great job of it.
Yeah, while these teams fight for the 15 seconds, you already have Shotzi moving through his way through the cave, but there's a player coming behind him. It's Scump who's able to win that one-on-one, so early positioning towards our final here at Cave West. He's starting to get set up with the rest of his team, and not a lot of time really earned for both teams.
Well, Scump gets picked almost instantly. You thought maybe that would be an opening, but it's a kind of a double kill between Scump and Gunless with the grenades, the lethals that go through. Now they can get into the hard point, maybe breathing for a moment, some kind of space and separation. Gunless kept trying to keep them honest through mid-map, but Clayster is able to pick that up. Now it's going to happen on the other side of this. I thought Shotzi might be able to do it, but Gunless comes off spawn and finds that kill. We know on this particular hard point, that player mid-map, if you can get 1, 2, 3 players to focus on you, it can be huge, but the focus needs to be on Arcides. as 2 headshots, 2 clean ones come in, and he keeps it going. Another one for Arcitys, 3 in a row, 13 and 4, as he is getting hot.
As with 12 seconds left, all the green arrows starting to get pushed up. Scump, he's just staying alive right now. A lot of patience. A lot of patience. He does not want to get a kill right now. He knows he's in a great position. Illy's up top. They're just waiting for the next hill to pop. There's the first one. What else can he find? Are his teammates going to spawn on him? We'll just have to wait and see. Hook's able to find Formal. So he's stuck alone on an island. What else can he find the second he does? Illy, he gets taken down. Scump, such a great play right now.
Stay alive as long as he possibly can. Now the reinforcements are coming in. Now he's going to surge on out. Can they find the kills? Dallas thus far holding strong. It's Shotzzy that goes huge inside of Outpost. He gets wall banged by Arcitys, but Dallas still here. Smokes out everywhere as everyone is vying for an angle. 14-point advantage for Huntsman. Scump's play, it's a good one. It leads to a triple now for Formal, who gets the action. That's going to get them into the point for at least a moment. They've kept it scrappy, though. Made sure Empire can't get a lot of time. Similar to what we kind of saw at Cave East. Like, it's a pretty good setup. Looks like it's going to be from Empire, but it's the individual pick from Arcitys. It's the heads-up play from Scump, just making sure it's messier than it could have been.
Yeah, it's just Scump. I mean, he finds 2 kills in the back, and he makes sure his team spawns on him. That gives him the close spawns. That allows them to make it scrappy. So you had some time earned on both teams, but we're going to head back to this first hill. And, well, Clayster, Shotzzy with the knife. He's going to find his second kill on this rotation. They're starting to pick up early time. And it looks like they flipped the spawns as well as we head back to KVs later.
4 or 5 down, that'll do that for you. But that's a very early flip in the opening 20 seconds from this. You love that as Shotzzy, another double to his name. Lead approaching 40 now for Huntsman. The good thing for them this time is I know they don't have spawns for next, so they got time. Yes, they only got, 5 points or something through the first. Central Town hold. Look at the kill feed. All green, Formal, Scump, Envoy just light it up. And that's going to give them an opening to get 4. But yes,
do it again.
Due to those safe spawns, you got to do one more wave.
Well, it's not going to happen. So Dallas, they rebound Envoy. We know the way he plays, right? When they played him on Petro when he was 30 and 12 with 2.5 minutes, so many important rotation kills. That's just his play style. But now Dallas, they have the KV set up. Shotzzy inside the hill, but the pressure already here from Chicago. Envoy, he's going to get pushed up, has the help of Formal.
They've done a good job picking off Clayster at range. They just had his number.
For Dallas.
Nice nade from Formal. Pick up Crim 6 from that top nest. Yeah, it just feels like Huntsmen have had some clean holds and where they've got 40, 50 points. And Empire, it's all just been so scrappy, so scrappy. And that's props to the Huntsman side is, again, it lights up and you see everybody on Huntsman getting involved.
And you look at the top right, Clayster and Crim for Dallas, your veterans. They're playing well. Well, the rest not so much. Hook 12 and 25 on the flip side. Arcitys 22 and 9, and he was a beast on this map in Minnesota against Dallas, and that continues here. Now set up top, Broken, able to find the first nose boost. Going to be in that position. Is ready for Shotzzy as well. Arcitys, he's on a tear.
So a little bit different than last time. It was Clayster and Empire set up and Broken. This time we'll see what Huntsman can do from this side, but you give yourself such lovely angles from that side of it before going to drop now for Huntsman as they'll spawn all the way out at old. That's a pretty deep spawn coming in as they try to rally back. So a moment for Empire to put in some time as they really need to chip away at this lead. It's now up to 60 and it's getting scary as we haven't seen a whole lot of big comebacks in Hardpoint this particular title.
I would say the opportunities here, though, for Dallas. I mean, you have the left side of the mini-map that you want where you're spawning. They're earning some time. It may not be clean, but you can see they're chipping away at the lead.
Clayster won a big one mid-map, too, on Gunless, who was rotating early to next.
Yeah, Chicago has committed for this scrap time. They know the situation that they're in. Envoy now starting to get pushed up towards Spiral. What can he do? The rest of his team starting to move through Cave.
Envoy's going all the way around. He's going all the way around. Can Envoy find an opening? Can he find an opening? He gets the information. One goes down and well. He's behind everybody. First gunfight, second gunfight, almost snaps onto the third, but two are going to drop. Gunless gets a kill as well. Is that going to be enough? It's Hook inside a well, the only player that comes through for Empire, but it's enough to make it interesting early. It's enough to get Huntsman into the hard point, and that's such a pivotal moment because that is the moment where Empire, if they were going to rally back, it was with this hard point.
It reminds me of KV's, right? It's just one player making a play for Chicago to disrupt this setup. You've had KV's and West control 2 times for Dallas.
We've seen Scump do it once. We've seen RCs get the pick to get in. We now saw Envoy do it. Those key, crucial kills at the beginning of a hard point just coming far too frequently for Huntsman. You're never going to win a hard point if that's how it's going in half your hard points.
But Chicago, they're going to have to do it again as Dallas, they start to get pushed up. Krim now, 31 in 23. We heard his post-game interview. He is fired up, laser focused for this match.
Doesn't it feel like, though, if you would have taken just a screenshot of what the map looked like right when each hardpoint popped, and you had to pick who was leading just based off of that, you probably would have said Empire.
Yeah, they've done everything right except really get that first set of kills they've needed to just relieve pressure, and just hasn't happened. But this feels like the first time it may have, as they set up here at Cliff.
You don't have Scump hiding in your back outpost just watching Illy. You're staring at him as he puts shots in. Now they're bringing it back. 30 seconds remaining on the hard point. The deficit 30 as well. Shotzzy going off now. That's going to be 5 in a row for Shotzzy as he's getting back towards even. Killfeed, all gray. Empire making all the plays. We're not done yet. We are not done yet. They needed that one big hold. Multiple times you point out they hadn't had that one strong hold, and there it is. It's such a big time within map 1.
Yeah, they get the rest of this time. It is going to be all squares. We head back to town center. Already have Envoy set up in the hill. His team, they know where Dallas is spawning. They're trying to cut him off at Broken. Envoy knows where they're going as well. Nades over. He's going to help his teammates now. His teammates come off spawn. Nice shot.
Scump might be able to flip. Scump might be able to flip. He's at KVeast already, and there it is.
He flipped.
There's the push through, and then the spawn comes out all the way at Spiral. So that's a great heads-up play. So even if you don't close it out here, you set yourself up for next. That was wonderfully done, and obviously you're in desperation mode now for Empire. You're flooding, but what a great flip and heads-up play from Scump.
It's almost one of those situations where you just earn all this time if you're Dallas. Just try to get yourself as close as possible and make the next hill insane, right? Just make it chaos. Get those smokes out. Get on the hill.
And what a map from play, man. 37 and 21.
Hold him and Krim.
Nearly 2 minutes in the hard point. But is it going to be enough? He's going off now. 3 kills in a row. They've done what you ask. Get as much time as you can. You're going to get this so close to being a victory. They're going to give up the final couple of seconds as they hope maybe they could catch some entries in transition, but that won't be the case. Formal, Scump, Envoy go huge. Everybody drops, and now spawning out the west side of the cave is going to be Empire. Huntsman need 20 more points to close this out. They've got the setup, but 2 have now dropped. Here comes the big push. This is the big moment in this map 1. Off to the races we go. Still holding strong inside of the hard point is the Huntsman. Now just 5 points away. A double from Formal, a triple from Formal, and that'll do it. Empire put to bed. It's a Huntsman map 1 win. Empire brought it back, Joe, but you can take a look at 3 or 4 moments where you feel like they should, or 3 or 4 hard points where Empire should have gotten a lot more time than they did.
Yeah, Dallas is going to be frustrated watching this VOD. It's just the way it's going to be. They were set up twice on first and second rotation at KVeast. That have to get more points. But we're going to take a look here. I mean, it's just the assault rifles on both sides. It's Formal and RCs for Chicago. On the flip side, it is Placer, it is Crim6. Hook did not have a great game. A lot of the time he was around double negative, but once again, it's just so consistent across the board. Everybody contributing for Chicago. It's Envoy on rotations, it's Scump on rotations, and when it comes to holding all the lanes, it's Arcides, it's Formal.
Arcides started out hot. Speaking of Arcides, I do want to take a look at the scuff play of the game. It's going to be a triple from Arcides, as there were a lot of moments you probably could have highlighted where they got breaks, but one of the big kills for him, honestly, was just early in the game. When he picked Clay out of that kind of half-wall cover inside of the hard point into KVeast, and they got in immediately. You just don't see that break that often, and it came from Arcides. And you just saw he was shooting lasers. He just destroyed Clay in that one. And he had his number a couple of times, and those long-range fights were going down. I know Clay dropped the bomb. He had an incredible game. But there were some key moments where Arcides had his number in big one-on-ones.
Wow. It's just, you would love, I mean, Clay is just hoping someone responds, right? Gets his trade. It just didn't happen in a lot of key moments. But I will say, Dallas was there once again. Like, it just feels like every single time they match up, it's getting closer.
Yeah, I totally agree.
5-0 though now for Chicago.
It felt like they got smoked in Minnesota. Felt a lot more competitive yesterday. That was a hell of a map. That was an incredible map. But now, when we start to talk about the search and destroy, if you watch Minnesota, they played Arklov. Empire had their way with the Huntsmen. It was not close. It was 6-1. Huntsmen looked out of sorts. Empire had a game plan. I think we both feel, though, that Huntsmen have gotten better. They've gotten better at searching. You just saw them play that in the map 5 in the last series against Paris. So they've gotten better there. But how are they going to match up against Empire is the question. And Empire got to bounce back now, because that's a tough loss. That's a tough loss, because that's when you know you should have won. You got a big game out of your vets.
Yep.
That's a tough pill to swallow, because you haven't won the hard point yet, and that's the one I think you felt you really let it slip away.
It's tough for Krim, too, because even in Minnesota, like, he played just so well on this map against the Huntsmen. He's just looking at, someone else to step up. He had Clayster, but it was the young guns that were struggling once again. But we've seen them go big on this map. Illy with a sniper, Shotzi with a sniper at times. So, again, they were just watching this Game 5 that Chicago played. So, there's two questions. Are they going to make adjustments? And what does Chicago opt to do? How are they going to change their strategies, or will they?
And is that something you expect from the Huntsmen, though? If you know Empire's been watching this match, they just watch this play, what do you change? Or is it more of, hey, we just won that convincingly, let's do what we do best?
It's going to be hard for Scump to go on a 10 spree again, right?
You don't say.
Have the game 5, to have the Game 5 that he just had. So, I mean, we'll just see early on, what Chicago's doing, if they're sticking to their defaults, or, what Dallas is throwing at them.
Huntsmen take the map 1. It's a rematch now on Arklov Peak. Dominated the first time through by Empire. Can they lock it down again and even up our series? Remember, this is a single elim bracket. Winner of this series is your first home series winner here in London. But now, let's see what Empire can do on offense early. They like this and found a lot of success the last time they matched up with that A push behind the sniper picks they were able to find, and just really playing as a cohesive unit.
So you have 3 players here from Chicago. Dallas playing slow, don't want to get naded off the start. You don't have anyone that far up on site, so there's some room to work with if you're Chicago. You can get your smokes out, you can get your nades out. There's the nades. Trying to chain 2 together to find a first blood. It doesn't happen.
And you pointed out, like, Scump kind of playing it deep, playing it passive. So he doesn't get tagged by those nades, and yep, the counter comes on in. Scump connects, Shotzi drops. First blood to Huntsman. Now this becomes an even taller order to try and break through at a man disadvantage. Illy, I gave him a peekaboo, just trying to look for any kind of opening here behind the snipe as Crimsix trots his way on forward. Scump is holding that angle, though, so this is going to be a big one-on-one.
This is not an easy gunfight.
This is going to be a big one-on-one. Scump spots him, but Krim able to take it. That's a massive one-on-one win. Now opens up that backside gully and calls in for a rotation in from Huntsman. Bomb, though, getting planted. Can he get away with his life? That's going to be the bomb in, and he's able to back down. Now, the favor that the Huntsman's had shifts over to Empire. Can they lock it down?
One player got to the bomb as well. One player was near that B site, and well, Gunless is going to come through, but do they have a smoke? Does Chicago have a smoke? That's going to be so important, because you have Illy all the way in the back with the sniper. Envoy's going to spot that. Still has the help of Clayster. There's the snipe, and if you don't have a smoke, this bomb is going to be almost impossible to defuse, as Illy's just going to be shouldering this, but smoke's out. He's going to bait one out. He's going to bait one out. Clayster is right behind him. Right him.
I think he realized not enough time to go. Gunless gets the kill, but just simply not enough time for the defuse. So Empire take the round. I thought they about ran into each other. I actually thought there was a chance he was going to collateral him as he sprinted through, as he was about to zoom in and just somehow come away with this wonderful double, but the kills, not enough.
I mean, you love probably to just see that smoke maybe 5 seconds earlier when they start to get pushed up, right? Envoy gets picked by that snipe. As soon as they hear that, you're hoping he's in a position to throw that down.
I think the single biggest moment was Krim winning that one-on-one against Scump. Absolutely, because you're down a man.
Allows them to plant.
That opens it up and, yeah, allows you to plant. Without question, the biggest gunfight. And that's just, like, you nailed it. That's a hard one. That is just a hard one.
similar round here from Chicago, just taking their time. Trying to find a pick, and it's going to be Gunless on Illy. Illy has that sniper, but there's Krim playing very aggressive on that mound. So a bit of a different setup that we're seeing from Dallas. They're not allowing them to get to the bomb.
Another good job from Krim. Just, you know, they go down to man, but even in the odds. Gunless started out 5-0 before he fell. Unfortunately, the 4 kills in round 1 don't amount to anything.
Envoy is right behind the player. I think he ran right by Clayster. Clayster's able to find Envoy on that rotation.
Clay's having some awkward, like, crosses with players, right? Krim 6, another one from the mound. 4v2 now for Empire. Flank starting to come in for Empire. That's Clayster trying to work his way up from mid-map, but not even going to be needed. Empire 2 in a row, and this is reminding you a lot of this matchup in Minnesota.
Yeah, so when you have Krim on that mound, I mean, that's just such a strong position. You either have to use smokes to make his life living hell or double nade him. But I think when that player Gunless goes down, you don't have those extra
We've
nades.
all taken that gunfight. Like, you see the tip of their skull, and they basically see everything, and you just get smoked. It is so hard.
And then Envoy working that flank. I don't know how Clay was set up, but
yeah, it looks really awkward on the minimap, right? Right back to what they do best. 1 mid, 4 towards A. Try to set up Illy to hit a snipe. A little bit more aggressive on defense, it looks like, from Empire. Hook, though, going to pop the dead silence. Try to get through. Scump once again in the corner. This time, Scump able to take it and drop Hook. I thought he was going to get caught again in that position.
But Gunless just not ready. Not ready for Shotzzy to be right where Hook just was.
Yeah,
so.
Didn't expect 2 to push, right?
Rotations there from Chicago. All players are left B. Nades going out. They don't want the bomb to get down. You see that light, and Scump's just like, I'm out.
It's terrifying. Like, no, thank you.
All right, so you do have Clayster starting to work the flank. Watch that white arrow.
Oh, I don't know. Where did Envoy pick that from? Because he was just going down to plant a smoke, I thought. Shotzzy pushed up the site to plant. Did he have an angle like, under the smoke?
Might have just wallbanged it.
Clayster now all alone. Envoy's the one that makes the play around the objective. Clayster drop. First round now to Huntsman. And I'd love to see it from Envoy's POV. The shot he hit onto Shotzzy working the plant. Because I thought he was like just kind of to the right there, like at the brick wall, but maybe he moved up a little bit when I took my eyes off the minimap.
Yeah, might have just got pushed up.
Yeah, all I saw was what looked like a good smoke and Shotzzy going in for the plant, and suddenly his head got ripped off.
Yeah, so two differences really just that they don't allow the plant to get off. You see a little bit more aggression on the defensive side for Chicago towards A, and then for Dallas, I mean, Clay was starting to work the flank, but it just seemed a little bit awkward with the timing. Like, if you know he's going to try to push that, probably shouldn't work the bomb at the same time.
Well, a bit of a different hit here on offense now. It's mid-map, all out for Huntsman. As they go soaring across, nobody's got eyes. 4 people towards A. Well, maybe not eyes, but they've got nades. Shotzzy hits a dandy onto Envoy. First blood now to Empire. What can they do with this 5v4? Now, Gunless did at least get into the site. A 2-2 split. Oh, sorry, 2-3 split from Empires. 2 players you see kind of pushing up that top side of the map for Empire. But that'll be a plan in for Huntsman. Now, how do you work the retake?
I think he spotted one. Yeah, gets the hit marker on Scump. Scump able to stay alive.
That's a nice little flick, but doesn't get the kill. Scump, though, going to get tagged up for mine. He's weak. He backs down right into another.
Plays behind Forma. Plays right behind Formal. And while Formal was trying to stay alive to just watch that bomb.
25 seconds, though, remaining. RCD's and Gunless trying to clutch up in a 2 versus 4.
They knew he was going to wrap back as well. They knew he was going to be in this area. They're able to find Arcides, so now it's all down to Gunless. He only needs to get a killer.
They lit up! He couldn't quite finish it. Did he hop off it? He did hop off it for a second, though. He's right back on it. Get up there. Go. He's got to go. He got to do it. Can he get there in time? Can he get there in time?
Yeah!
I think he got it. Oh, he got the kill. I
Let's
thought the
go.
defuse was in. He got the kill. Are you kidding me? What a play from Gunless.
Holy shit.
And that's
I thought he got it. I thought he got it.
He hopped off of it for a second, had to restart it. He had to restart it, and because
how close was that?
Because Gunless jumped off the side, I think it created an awkward timing for Clay. He thought he was going through the back door, so Clayster just sprints right through.
That just gave me chills. I was stressed out. Dude, watching him trying to hop up there, I'm like, Mano, please.
And it worked out.
What a play.
Shut
9
up.
and 2 for Gunless. Stone cold in the clutch. I know you're there. The tension builds.
Here comes the push. Here comes the push. Gunless. They don't hit him on the mound. Book, he's going to get picked. You have to nade that mound.
This is
Such
just
easy.
easy.
It's just easy for Gunless. 11 kills for him. Finally, a trade comes through.
And I don't know if that was a missed nade because it looked like they tried to hit him. Yep. Might have gone a little bit deep. Because you're thinking there, what? Hit him with the nade, peek it, same time. You one bullet him.
Yeah,
or double nade him. The nade just doesn't hit. So I think that was probably a missed toss from Empire. Yeah.
Oh.
Felt that breeze.
Have a chance to play the farm. You have two players working mid right now for Chicago. RC's has to stay up and be able to take
You can't die there. You just can't die there. Another big kill from Crim6, though, when you're down a man to bring it even. 35 seconds remaining on the clock.
All the way around. Formal's going all the way around for Chicago.
Does he get there? He's going to get there right after the plant finishes.
Good time. Yeah, he's going to find Shotzi. Now the pinch is on. He knows where one player is. He sees Clayster. Now it's all down to Crim. 1 versus 3. He's able to find the first. Envoy's there for the trade. And it starts with Gunless. It ends with Formal. A nice retake there from Chicago.
Beautiful patience, beautiful flank. Round to Huntsman. Now going to go up 3-2 after the early 0-2 hold in this game 2. I can't get over that Gunless clutch. I need to watch that back. I just want to see how close it was, like from Crim's POV, like how close the meter was. Because in Codcaster, man, that was just, I thought it was done. I thought it was done.
If he has a knife there, it's probably done.
Oh, instead of the pistol? Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. That's true. We've seen the knife so often. Pistol comes up big. It's been all Gunless so far at 11 and 3. Crim6 leading the way on Empire at 7 and 4. Early nades out from Huntsman and early nades back from Empire. There's the double nade. Gunless is going to drop, but it's Envoy right up the gut through the smoke. It's able to get a kill before he drops, and his Guardian Angel Scumps come through with the shots. Illy, though, with the answer, now trying to hold from this power position at the site behind the barrel and box combo.
Yeah, one player working mid for Chicago. He's in a great position. It's Envoy with that MP5. He rotated from that site. You have another player going wide B.
He opened up sight, he opened up mid, and now Scump back in the action. Scump and Envoy combined for all 4 so far in this round. It's now to Shotzi. He will drop Envoy. I mean, after that nade comes in and they get the first pick, you're like, oh, this is bad news. He just runs right through that smoke, gets the pick at the mound. Then straight to mid-map, finds another. Yeah, I mean, Scump, think about what a huge bailout that is to cover him. I mean, that duo there at the site. And then a transition to mid, just a thing of beauty from Huntsman.
I mean, Chicago just switch up the pace. Even after the first blood, Envoy still goes, which is, you have to love the confidence. Dallas was there. Illy was on the bomb for the trades. And it was the plays after Envoy Scump that they were able to make. Now 4 rounds in a row.
Envoy's feeling aggressive. Looking for an angle here mid.
I mean, this is perfect. He has a player watching over him towards his church side. It's going to be a very difficult trade.
That's why he's got Arcides, covering the top side of the minimap for him.
This is the first time Dallas has really shown a sign to go B. They're starting to get pushed up. When is the timing going to come through for Envoy? Formal's going to find one. When is Envoy going to pop up? It looks like he's just worried about his left side.
Well, yeah, because Arcides drops, right? So that gets opened up. Now into the site, and down with the plant goes Empire. 4 versus 4.
There's a player above them.
Formal's going to get caught. He'll drop after getting the first blood. Now Envoy. He's got to work in tandem with Scump to try and get a play going. They were able to do it on offense. Can they do it now on the retake? Inboy has so many angles to worry about, but in goes Scump. Mantle's up top, can't quite 180 and snap onto the second. Inboy's gonna drop at the same time, and now it's a guy that's already got one clutch. Can he do it again? The problem is just no time to work with.
No time.
Gets the spot onto Illy, but can he even track back? 15 seconds now on the clock. He's got to go. He's got to go. No time to find Shotzi and also get the defuse. There's no time. No time. That's the second time he's almost come up with the big play. I mean, he's got one clutch. He had the time where he killed 4 players round 1, but not enough time to get the defuse. And then there, what? By the time he's trying to make a play, 20 seconds left, has to track across mid. Too tall in order. I mean, that would have, Shotzi would have had to give him a free kill.
Yeah, big offensive round for Dallas. Keeps them alive in this game. Stops the momentum on Chicago. And I like how fast they committed to that site, but I also feel like on the side of Chicago Envoy, I mean, if he's watching, I know Arcees goes down, but if he's at a different angle, he finds a killer 2 mid-map.
Well, I thought he watched that angle before Arcees went down, or maybe the timing I might have missed, but I understand why
close.
it was
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah. If he had his eyes on that for what, another couple seconds, man, he's got a free kill.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, very true. Clayster getting wall banged. Yeah. Just gets away. And he's able to take the challenge and drop one before he falls. Envoy now planting bomb. He's going to get caught, but Scump there for the instant trade. Illy Deagle out, trying to do what he can, but it's a 3v2 now for Empire. Scump brings the odds even. 2 versus 2. Who's working that flank all the way around? It's going to be Shotzi, who's wrapping back. He's in behind Formal. In behind Formal, and that is a free kill. Advantage over to Empire. Scump gets caught as well. Back-to-back rounds for Empire. It's 4-4.
And I think my favorite part for Empire throughout that round is they did not allow the plant to go down. Clayster, he challenges right away. He's able to win one. Yes, he gets traded out. Right after that, another player from Dallas just bursts on through the door. Well, they just make sure the plant isn't there.
It's big, too, because Formal should be calling out, hey, I got him weak. So he sprays him top. Clay's weak, panicking away. I mean, he probably was like a 1 or 2 bullet kill as he pushed down, but the fact he was able to pick up Envoy off bomb before he dropped, he gets killed there. I mean, that is not how that round goes down.
They just kept trading within the site. Like, they were okay with it basically having a 3v3 as long as the bomb wasn't planted.
They were the first dominant. They had the edge. Can't see much.
All right, so Gunless is on the mound. Now, how are they going to deal with him?
Hit their nade properly?
Yeah, because he's been the problem. So go back towards his default A.
Yeah, I'd call 13 and 6 a problem. Yeah, I'd love to see it from his POV because these nades are going to come in soon. Do they hit? Here comes Hook. There's the first.
And it's a stun just to check.
Smoke.
All right, so now they know he's there, and instantly the nades come out. Do they connect? I think he has a trophy on himself.
Trophy keeps him up, but he's still going to reposition. As Shotzi, now I believe with Dead Silence, starts to work up. Try to find an angle.
Formal's able to find play on the flank. Formal's able to open that up once again. So Dallas has to go. They have to move backward and find Formal or all go forward.
Yeah, you got to make a decision here. Everything's been opened up. That's a nutty gunfight. Went from Shotzi. Shotzi takes a second down as well. And from a 3v5 to a 3v3, it's Shotzi that goes huge. And now works to get the plant down. Slowly, though, during the course of this, that's been Formal. It's starting to work towards the flank. Remember, he got in a position like this earlier in the game and was able to locate 2 kills. Wasn't there early as the plant went down. Now Illy with the snipe as the youngsters from Empire take over this round. Envoy just got spotted. Dead Silence not going to help you there. Shotzi with his 3rd in the round. Hook looks to close it out. He's able to do it 3 rounds in a row from Empire in a 3v5 clutch. All behind Shotzi's massive play. And that's the second time where Scump just gets gunned in the back. Krim took him out, what, round 1? And now it's Shotzi that's able to take him out. You're just holding that angle. You got to win that fight.
Yeah, what a shot with the MP5. Well, Shotzi, double digits now for him, 10 and 5. It was the vets in game 1. Shotzi starting to come alive a bit. Illy as well. He was 1 and 5 throughout this game, so he's starting to turn it around. Can they close this out? Well,
that building
it's a good trophy.
was just about to say, what a moment for Shotzi to step up. You know, he's been taking some flack. He's like, oh, look at this nade. Hold that, crowd. Illy with the snap. Formal might have just got sent to the third map. If they can finish this round.
When you have a 3-stack here from Dallas, B is wide open, and I think Dallas is going to take the risk. They have a double stack through that trench area, but the bomb's being rotated towards B. Arcees almost gets picked, has to back away. And as he stays alive, he puts the focus on him while his team heads towards this B site. Bomb going to be planted. They're going to get in positions that they want.
So what we see, that opening snipe hit from Empire, but then almost immediately lose site control, and now a plant in. Can Huntsman hold and get us to around 11? Who's holding the flank for Empire? That's going to be Arcees. He should have a free kill. He does. Arcees gets the kill. Envoy lines one up. Illy hits a quick scope, but not another quick scope to his name.
Right, here we
Huntsman, get us to around 11.
I mean, it was just such early picks for Chicago. They played their time. They played rotation. Dallas, they try to go for a bit of a 3-stack towards A. Maybe get lucky. But Chicago knew something was up, and they just head towards that B site.
What a huge round for Empire. You cannot go down 0-2 in this best of 5. Gunless, though, has something to say about it. 14-7 as we head into our final round. It's all decided here. Empire starting to creep their way up towards that top side of the map, but it looks like they want to wrap back now. They didn't like what they saw. They're going to take this back to A. The defensive spread, pretty even for Huntsman.
Yeah, it's almost a little weak on the A side, typically than what we're used to. But Arcees finds first blood.
And that's a big one. Takes out the snipe of Illy. They've had a battle going back and forth throughout this game. It was Shotzi from this position that really was the game changer. What, 1 round Shotzi, 1 round Krim, where they were able to pick
Is Clay
Scump.
going to get that kill? Is Clay going to get this kill on Envoy? Does he spot him? Just spots him. All right, this is going to open things up.
Krim hits a snipe too.
Yeah, he picks up the snipe. Now, what are they going to rotate off of? Okay, so they find Clay. They isolate him. But right off that, they know that there's an opening. They're going to go for the bomb plant. So it's a 3v3 Chicago. Have to retake this.
Shotzi looks to back away. Back to the superstar and Gunless as he starts to work up the side time against him, but it's Formal on the flank. He's able to take one with him before he drops. Hook's got dead silence pop. Here goes Gunless. He finds the angle. They work together. They're able to take him down. It's all into Krim 6 in the back. 25 seconds on the clock. Krim is going to have to hit a shot. They haven't hopped it yet. He's got to be terrified. They're already on it. Now Gunless hops it. He's on the bomb. He's got to try and get the wall back in, but Scump's got the angle. Scump's got the angle. Krim 6 drops in the round 11 to Huntsman. 2-0 edge. What a series it has been thus far.
I'm actually surprised he doesn't try to. He has a sniper. One snipe.
A nail biter of a hard point. A round 11 search and destroy. What's But let's take a look at the damage dealt leaderboard presented by PlayStation. I believe this is going to go back to the hard point as these guys slugged it out back and forth over that map 1, and it was Crim6 leading the way. We know Clayster had the monster game. It's the ARs at the top.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. Actually, Envoy at number 4 surprises
Stands
me,
out to you?
man. Like, that really does stand out. I mean, Illy had a third AR there at times. So for Envoy to be able to do that on Cave with an MP5, that is something, a hell of a map. It might not have said it in the stats sheet, but that's a big game.
It's our first home series final. I need this to go the distance. I need Dallas to make a run. Make it interesting. Get me to a game 5. They haven't done that.
What Ben and Chance have or what the spell is that they have, but I need some of it.
Lucky for us in this crowd, those first 2 maps were ludicrous. I mean, it doesn't get much closer than map 1 and map 2, but as a Call of Duty fan, you've just got to want to see this going the distance. Well, unless I guess you're a Huntsman fan, you're up 2-0, you're like, let's just end this thing, but give me a game 5, give me a round 11. But I think the scariest part of this now is Empire has yet to win a hard point. They haven't won one. They have to. They have to. There's no way around it. There's no magic 2-3-5 that they could do. You've got to win the hard point.
And for Dallas, it's almost like we're here, right? Like, I don't know if anybody's talking to them, from the Dallas side, but like you're in this.
So do you think even if they lose this series, you think if you're Empire, like, hey, even if we lose this, like we made improvements? Or you just look at the fact it's 0-3 against them already this year?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like there's something part of this matchup that Dallas just can't get over that hump, but you've seen improvements every single time they faced off.
We're headed to Petro. The domination split 1-1 between these 2 teams thus far. Both times, though, we saw them on Hackney. The first time we'll see them match up on this map so far in the 2020 season.
Yeah, and this was one that Chicago just played, so they have a rep under their belt just a series ago.
It's do or die time for Empire. They've got to take the map to survive deeper into this series. You got to think the opening moments of this going to be so crucial. Can they get out to an early lead? Right up into that blue window goes Clay. So a restaurant window, just looking for anything.
It's a blue window.
Yeah, blue window.
Blue. It looks blue.
I like that. Thank you, Joe, for the incredible support as always.
Blue.
Best duo in the world. Illy. 2 kills mid-map. Clayster and Hoop, 1 in the action as well, and Illy's going to push out instantly towards backside Hazmat. And they've opened him up. They weren't quite able to finish B, but he's gotten into the backside. This is a map where we talk a lot about A-B preference. Here, usually CB is what you want to try and lock down on Petro. Clayster wins a nice 1-on-1. 4 going to go down. 5 spree from Illy. Everything you could want from Empire early.
Look where
and there's the 2-cap control.
I mean, you have them spawning low. A few players do spawn out A, but this is a tough split right there. And one player's just waiting top blue for Dallas.
I think that's a flip you'll take. That's a flip you'll take if you're Empire.
One player's going all the way around. I don't know if he's going to win that gunfight. I think Crim just somehow lost a big gunfight at A to stop the neutral, but they have CB. They flipped the spawns.
Arcides working up towards Hazmat as well towards C. He's likely going to have a gunfight here momentarily. The sneaky play is going to pay off. That's likely going to be a neutral at C for them as well.
Oh, he's just waiting for his teammates. He's just trying to be a nuisance, right? You see 2 arrows start to run his way, make it 3, so that's going to allow Chicago to work up towards B. And RC just continues to be annoying, but I mean, I guess you'll take this, right? If you're Dallas, you have 2 flags, you have a 13-point lead right now. But now his teammates are here. Is Envoy. He's going to join him. Illy, though, him and Hook able to stay alive.
Illy, a 7-1 start. 7 in a row from Illy. Let's keep watching this young man. Sorry, Illy. As he gets smoked by Envoy, we'll hop off of Illy now. But it's been a great start to give them this early edge. Clayster with the finesse at that central block. Both players mid-map, though, will drop. It feels like it's been a really good 2-cap control considering how messy the minimap has looked. Like, it feels like there's just been gunfights everywhere. But throughout it all, they've held on. And I think part of it, when you were kind of highlighting Arcides making plays towards C, I didn't see who it was. The same thing was happening for Empire. There was one player that was keeping them honest over there. So instead of pressure coming towards B, both teams were kind of worried about their home cap. Big part of why they were able to hold.
I mean, before Scump and Arceus found those last 2 kills, it was all Dallas in the kill feed. A great start from Illy at 9-2, Hook 8-4. 5. Everyone stepping up in a time of desperation. Now a 26-point lead, Shotzi on a 5 spree. The young guns for Dallas in a time that they need them starting to step up.
Empire. All on them to bring this back. They've done such a wondrous job in this first half. What have you loved from Empire thus far to get them to this 30-point lead?
I mean, they just haven't allowed Chicago to get into the positions that they want. Every single time 1 or 2 of Chicago is there, the gunfights go the way of Dallas. They haven't allowed them to flip the spawns.
We've talked a lot about the young players on Empire. This is one of the biggest moments they've had on the main stage. When you talk about Call of Duty, the kills come in from Huntsman, but I actually want to hear the comms from Empire in this moment of desperation. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Dallas.
I'm back full, guys.
I'm B.
I'm back full.
Yeah, blue dump, coming blue court.
Watch out, front P2, watch out. To your right, in there.
On B.
Close right.
Yo, back left, eh? Gotta get a cap. Neutralizing it.
I'm holding water.
Bottom blue, bottom blue got me.
Yo, one ton on B.
We got, I gotta stay spawn. Cap that shit.
Yeah.
Give me bottom blue somewhere.
Cap A.
Bottom blue dead.
Kill him.
Yo, watch it. I spawned out 2, watch water street.
I have water. You're gonna be top diner and shit.
Yo, one's L2.
You're on bad side.
He's on cop, I think.
Yo, right side, dead.
Top diner weak. That's two.
Yellow van.
Yellow van.
Help me, yellow van. Give me
Yellow
a
van
second.
weak. Oh, fuck.
We're good.
I got sun.
Normal dead. I got him at 3.
No, I'm B.
Where'd he go?
There's side B.
The 2 there, tree.
Back into it we go. Huntsman now with the 2 cap, trying to bring it back over these final 2 minutes and see if they can get this a little closer to even, because you started slow with your Huntsman, but a big stretch here in these final moments. You can be looking at a tie game and a race, all of that incredible work, that hot start you said. And for Empire, even though you were talking about the youngsters and Shotzi and Illy, well, even Clayster having a good game. Crim6 is struggling. He's at 2 and 10, and you gotta heard some comms there with Clay too, where Clay was like, "Wait for me to challenge Van," and Crim just sort of hopped out, and you heard the frustrations from Clay. Maybe a little bit out of sync right now for Crim6.
Yeah, he then blamed it on him being stunned, which
that's not what it looked like. I was stunned. I'm like, you jumped out and got smoked.
Just say something. Yeah. Right? It wasn't my fault, I swear. But 3 do go down. Clayster behind his 2 kills can at least secure this B. Okay, so they're gonna keep this lead for now. I mean, I would just try to hold on to this, right? I really wouldn't try to overpush it. You heard Hook in the listen and say, you know, we're on good side. Like, we're on good side. We're in a very good position right now. And I have to agree with him. If they can close this out, they'll have about a 28-point lead. Try to get a little aggressive, and behind that, 1 player goes all the way through A for Chicago.
He spawned there, or he pushed through? Because they were pushed up towards Hazmat. He might have spawned there. They were all the way into Hazmat. I didn't see. I wasn't looking at the minimap when it happened, but I doubt that was a push through.
Yeah,
I imagine that's a spawn flip.
The same thing.
Yeah. Oh, yes it is, Joe. Yes it is. 15 seconds left. 20-point lead for Empire. They're trying to push as many points as they can. This might be a chance for I don't know.
Maybe a 3-point tick?
Yeah, 1 big tick.
2. So we'll see what those 2 points are, how they affect the rest of the game.
Yeah, they got 1 3-point tick.
Yeah,
they get a 3-point tick.
So
that could be big. It could be. If this comes down to a 3-point game, I mean, that trip cap for 1 tick. We'll see what it amounts to, but...
Yeah, but it felt like those last 2.5 minutes, Chicago, they got the setup that they wanted.
If this is anything like the first 2 maps, those 3 points could matter. They could, Joe.
Yeah, we pointed out the Dallas side, the other side, it's gunless, man. He continues his incredible series.
He's had some big finals in his career, hasn't he, Joe?
Yeah, where we've solidified him the best player in the world, that is for sure. Feels like he just loves these moments. He lives up for them.
I just don't think they phase him at all. Just not at all. Clayster's in for us, though, as Gunless will drop.
But guess who it is? It's Envoy trying to make the heads-up play, just trying to be a nuisance. Trying to get behind Crim, and he does. And behind that, they might be able to flip this right away. And there's the spawns towards A. Envoy continuously makes those plays, but he ends up getting off of it.
So this is basically what Empire were able to do in the opening moments for the CB flip. Huntsman trying to replicate that. They have 1 more in Hazmat they're going to take down. That was Illy that they were able to do.
There's another 1-on-1 over there, though. This could be big. And Envoy, he's just going to play his life. He's just trying to wait for his teammates to come up off spawn. They're spawning towards the A side.
They're spawning everywhere, because 1 just spawns C as well.
Makes sense. But B still on the Dallas side.
It's a bottom mid spawn. in from Empire as they try to rally back. So both home caps look like they're going to be Huntsman's. Now you got to make a decision for Empire because they got you pinned. You had AC control from Huntsman. You all spawn out bottom towards like the first hard point if you're Empire. And that's one of those moments where you just have to pick a side. Like you have to make your decision. And they've kind of gotten split up a bit.
And Illy, he's able to get towards C. At least neutral's it. Now you can play your life. I like that play. You have the 17-point lead. Time is on your side. There's one player from Chicago. It's Envoy once again. And this entire time, B has been controlled by Dallas. So it's just been 1 point to 1 point. Both teams fighting over Charlie.
It's Huntsman, though, that need the points. Down 17. Trying to get back towards C. Who is that deep? Is it Envoy again? Yes, it is Envoy again. It's going to have this one-on-one with Shotzzy. Shotzzy goes for the push. Envoy ready and waiting. There's the kill. Envoy huge again. More players wrapping back to try and deal with him. He wins another one. Envoy goes big again towards Charlie. Now they're on B. They're on C. It's a bottom spawn coming in from Empire. That's where you want to try and pin him if you can as they try to wrap back and make a decision. Arcities with the double there as well.
Envoy,
now it's a 3 cap, and you can't talk enough about what Envoy was able to do. So many heads-up plays this weekend. He's showing he's got the talent, maybe one of the smarter players in the game right now.
Yeah, but now it's Shotzzy on the other side, so now Chicago has to be careful. The neutral, can't get the trophy down. Guess what? Envoy needs him. And the 3 cap was still there, so now Chicago about to take the lead. Envoy continues. He's 22 and 14. We pointed out gunless at half, but it has been all Envoy in this second half.
Right, he has erupted. Absolutely erupted. Takes another gunfight before he falls. Who's going to step it up from Empire to try and shut down this hot streak from Huntsman and Envoy? Somebody's got to go big. It was the youngsters early and Illy and Shotzzy that were really making the plays for them. So we'll go right over to Illy. He's going to get cut down by Formal. The neutral comes in at C. Formal, though, wins another gunfight, and he'll be able to retake C almost instantly. This has just looked stressful over the last, 90 seconds to 2 minutes for Empire. Like, you've just been spawning bottom mid so frequently.
Yeah, towards that A side. I mean, Dallas had what they wanted, but it was Envoy. Envoy just kept finding kill after kill towards the C side, and that had allowed his teammates to get pushed up. That's when they took B. That's when they had the 3 cap.
Still a healthy amount of time. 2:20 to go. Still striking distance for Empire. They're going to get C.
Right here.
It's going to be Formal that's wrapping back to try and get in position. Takes 1 down with him. C doesn't get finished. Now the reinforcements come in. That's going to be Envoy again. That's going to get right onto the flag. Going to go for the cap. Trying to do it with the gun. Do it with the objective as well. Envoy wins another one. Illy gets first shot. Maybe first 2 bullets there and then just gets obliterated. How many one-on-ones are we going to watch Envoy win? That's your teammate. He's feeling himself.
Yeah, Dallas had a player on B. They're able to neutral both flags, so they're the only team with a flag right now. A chance for Dallas. Can they capitalize? Who trying to do what he can. Both teams fighting. And now a player from Chicago ends up going towards that A flag. That's going to be RC's trying to get it capped there. So they're going to capture C. They're about to capture A as well, and they're going to get Bravo. A 3 cap opportunity for Chicago to put this one away.
This could close the game. This could close the game. Every single tick spells death and doom for Empire. It's looking like we might have a 3-0 in our first ever home series final. Who else? Envoy now with 5 in a row, out to 28 and 17.
This is just on a mission, man. This is ridiculous to watch.
And now it's just at a point where you have to have a 3 cap if you're going to bring this back. And as each second goes by, the comeback becomes impossible for Empire. Huntsman came in the favorites. We knew Atlanta FaZe wasn't going to be here this weekend. Huntsman needed to get this W. Huntsman will get this W as they assert their dominance over the competition in London.
Well, now with 30 seconds left,
the fans know it's done.
Over.
The fans know it's done.
It's over. Chicago, they know it's done. Arcity showing some extra love to Krim. Krim 14 and 30, map 3. Not a great performance for him.
I think we first pointed out he was like 2 and 10. He started. Alec, Arcity still torching bodies as the final seconds tick away. That does it. Chicago Huntsmen are your winners at the London Home Series Final.
It was close. It was closer.
All of those maps so competitive. It just feels like Huntsmen are a bit better right now.
Yeah,
but do you think this is going to be a battle we're watching all year? I sure as hell do. I sure as hell hope so. Empire, I think as much as we're giving props to Huntsmen, you were the favorites, you handled business, you showed you were the best team here this weekend. For Dallas, though, I think this was a good answer, right? You came in, you went 0-2 at Minnesota. All the memes over their performance to Shotzi and online and what they could do on land. You proved you're one of the top teams here by getting to a final.
I mean, obviously Chicago, Atlanta on the top. That's what everybody believes, but Dallas is right there.
They're a contender. Yep. I think without question, they are a contender. But they're not the top dogs in London. That title goes to Huntsmen, and man, I think there are moments that you could talk about every player leaving a stamp on it, but I don't know, man. Their MVP for me might be Envoy this weekend. We could talk about that hard point on Petro that he had, what, a 39-12 with 3 minutes performance. He had this ludicrous performance here in around the objective. He was so good, but the backbone of this team, the captain of this squad, it is King Scuppy, and we've got him on stage with Frankie.
We do. This is your instant reaction presented by PlayStation. We've had so much epic Call of Duty today. Those matches have been so close that literally we're being chucked out of the venue as we speak. But let's face it, I've got an audience with the King. I'm not going to waste it. It was 3-0, and yet those maps seem closer than ever against the Empire. Do you think they're gaining on you?
I mean, they've always been a good team. People give them a lot of, I guess, slack because they do play better online as opposed to LAN, but they played us close. The search and destroys we play against them are 6-5, and we had some insane clutches as well. So I'm honestly just really happy with the team. I didn't have a good finals, but the rest of my team stepped up huge, so shouts to them.
And listen, all eyes were on the T2P duo here in London. The crowd were pleased to see you. How is it having that synergy back together, seeing that last time in Minnesota wasn't just a fluke?
Oh, I mean, it's great to have him back. His communication, his gun skill, his decision-making, it's all top tier. So to have the duo back and for us to win our very first tournament together, I mean, we're right back to business as usual. So it feels really good, and I'm glad that we have Alec, Pierce, and Dylan behind us as well, because they're nasty.
And you've got a birthday boy behind you as well. Have you got anything to say to the man, the myth, the legend, Hex?
Happy birthday, Hector! Love you!
Happy birthday indeed.
He can't even hear me.
I'm sure he'll watch this back. Scump, congratulations on winning the first regular league event of the CDL 2020. London, you have been absolutely epic. I have absolutely had a blast guesting with you here at the Copper Box Arena. I've been Frankie Ward, the team. We'll see you in a couple of weeks in Atlanta. After this weekend, I know you're not going to miss it. Good night.
mandando a llegar por atrás.
Less than a minute. Take a breath, we're going back in. Search and destroy. Asset locations confirmed. Defending them is critical. Less than a minute.
Our spawn going back in the cave.
Oh, no, he was right there too.
Motherfucker.
Yo, and the most frustrating part is that I can't say anything to Casey.
Search and destroy. Assets identified. We need to keep them intact.
Broken building.
Enemy cruise missile incoming.
Ya me olvidé. Pero como el viento tira blanca. Súbete por ahí, súbete por ahí. Ey, hay uno en medio, güey.
Enemy UAV up. Less than a minute.
Esta madre no salió. Ahí está, Raúl, al lado de ti. Aquí está conmigo. Ah, está en medio, güey. Está en la casa en medio, güey, ahí al lado. Ah.
up. Move your asses. Enemy bomb at Bravo. Get over there. Fuse pulled. Good job.
Should've stuck with M4, bro.
We've taken the advantage. Make sure we keep it.
Oh, like, what was I watching this whole entire time?
Switching sides.
I should have just hit fired it.
Search and destroy. Retrieve the bomb and hit those targets. Bomb is in play. Protect the carrier. Allied cruise missile away. Enemy cluster strike incoming. Take cover. Planting the bomb. Secure the area.
No mames.
Our bomb is set.
Pinche
Hold that
campero
position.
de mierda, horrendo, güey.
Fuck! How'd that...
No comiste, ¿verdad, pendejo? Sí. Entonces, ¿qué te estoy diciendo?
He was fucking... Bet you was mounted.
¿Comiste?
What else was he doing?
Oh yeah, he was. Waiting for ya.
He'd have been dead
There you
behind.
go,
him,
Austin.
too.
Search and destroy. Retrieve the bomb and hit those targets.
Lo quieras.
have the
Quedan
bomb, move.
arriba. Nota que fumo. Cayendo. ¿Te acuerdas de ese video cuando se quitó este rap?
Oh my god!
Ready for flyover.
¡Oh, qué puta
Shit.
madre! ¿De
Well,
dónde
I need somebody to fucking
verga?
work so bad right now.
Dude, I literally die every fucking round.
Verga, ¿de
Bro.
dónde
It is so
matter
hard
what.
for me to get a good KD. There you go.
Search and destroy. Target's ID. Get to the bomb.
UAV entering the AO.
You've got the bomb. Get to the target.
Estoy apuntando en medio. Casa del medio, sí.
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for
Ah,
resupply.
güey, ah. Ay, está arriba, ayuda, auxilio. El otro está ahí, Genaro, cuidado, güey. Saliendo luego. Vigila, arriba. Está arriba, Genaro, arriba. El otro está de Debe estar atrás. Ve. Acá está, acá está, acá está.
Just for him.
Fucking Christ,
Fucking
dude,
so
like,
right.
close
Back
to
at
him.
the blue.
That was
No,
a
never mind.
high
I got
IQ
C4s
fucking
on for
play
this
by our
faggot
player
bitch
right
now.
there.
Con mis carnales.
He's gotta run. Sorry, bitch.
Switching sides. Search and
Vaya, pues,
destroy.
yo también, pero menos las que tengo en oro.
Assets identified. We need to keep them intact.
Nomás tengo 3, yo, güey, no. Vaya, las demás no tienen
Enemy
cama.
UAV overhead.
Ey, que se pone en medio de esta cueva. ¡Ah, Raúl, acá, güey! Hijo de tu puta madre. Me robaron mi kill. Ese me roban todas mis kills. Ey, el otro vato se salió casi de la cueva, está hasta el fondo. Ay, güey. Qué pedo, Raúl. Qué mamadas. Tanto para nada, nada más te diste para atrás, güey. No que estabas cubriendo ese lado, mira, mira nada más. Nada, güey, y aparte me mató, güey, ese vato. Güey, tú dijiste, yo me meto por acá. Ay.
Oh my god, guy.
Te está rodeando, pendejo.
Complete the mission, soldier. You're the only one left.
Oye, esos camuflajes están
Let's go.
On to the
Good
next
work.
round. Pick it up.
Dog shit.
Search and destroy.
Hay un vato que tiene la pinche mina chiquita y me verguea. De la sal. Con otro no la voy a librar, no, weón. Güey, aquí tenemos que cubrir, güey. ¿Estás avanzando? ¿Dónde están? ¿De dónde, Blood? Ah, no puedo hablar. Hombre, guau. Ya lo vi, bro, aquí está en medio, güey. Nos va a rodear por arriba. Cuidado, güey. Nos va a llegar, te va a llegar con térmica, güey. De verga, por arriba, güey. ¿Todos? No, puta madre. No mames, como verga, güey. Por arriba, güey, la cueva, la entrada. La salida más bien. Ah, fíjate por toda esa zona. O vaya, no te voy a ir por atrás, güey, porque verga, rodean también.
30 seconds. Time's up. Move your
Ya
arms.
mataron al que está ahí, Rol, allí, allá del otro lado. O sea, mataron al que viene por ahí, por donde está esa... ¡Ay,
Check de ahí. Ándale, baby.
Enemy bomb at Bravo. Get over there.
Vale, ¿qué es eso?
Tienen la jeringa y no se la tiran.
¡Perro!
Come on, come on, come on. Alias.
Sacaremos. Perdimos.
What a carry.
That's a dub. That is a dub.
Get out, fucking gringos.
Yeah, y'all
Get
suck.
out.
Who's fucking here?
Faggot.
Ah, loco, lo estamos.
Get out, frog.
Get out,
Oh my
bitch.
god. Oh my god.
You're trash. Warmex plant's trash.
Warmex. Oh wow, that's fucking gay. It makes you even more of a bitch. Yo, Austin. Fuck you, Austin. Fucking pussy ass bitch.
Mike is absolute dog.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how we're in hardcore search and destroy because I don't even have it as an option.
This is regular search.
What? I chose hardcore. I chose the fucking filter.
I think you left it on.
You mean just pull us?
Jackpot on
Yeah,
enemy asset.
we can play it.
Bomb
We
is
can
in
play
play.
one.
Protect the area.
Josh, should we pull us or no? Yeah, fuck it. Push in real quick and I'm gonna pull it. Oh yeah? I'm gonna pull us real quick.
Oh my god. See you later. See you later.
What happened? What happened? What happened? You have nothing to say now?
The three-man clan left.
Nah, they just got people. But Austin, fuck you, seriously. Fuck you, Austin.
Search and destroy. Retrieve the bomb and hit those targets. You've got the bomb. Get to the target.
Got him.
Oh my god.
Got him. Oh my god.
Jeez. Can you guys
C4 taste.
get a little better? Invite some friends or something, please. Call your BFF, tell him to pull up. Or her, whatever, I don't care. Fucking, you guys suck. So,
Search and destroy. Target's ID. Get to the bomb and move in. You've got the bomb. Get to the target.
Yo, Slime, what's going on, bro? What's going on, Slime? Yeah, how's it going, bro?
Slime,
Not
you
good,
can
I
suck,
bet.
bro.
Not
And
good, I bet.
everybody you're playing with sucks, too. Yo, Slime, if you think you wanna...
Suck on my cock.
Search and destroy. Asset locations confirmed. Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh my god.
725.
Yo, get out, bro. Get out.
What happened? You guys fucking suck, basically.
You
Yo,
got
what's
out
a 6
times
times
10, bro. Oh my god. Don't ever. Don't ever.
Search and destroy.
I killed him. He talking and I killed him, bro.
Yeesh. Jumped into a horrible
Assets
game.
identified. We need to keep them intact.
Why they put me in this game, bro?
Alright, boys, we gotta come back. Stop playing. Good.
Get to Alpha. Enemy bomb planted.
Alright.
How y'all losing this game, bro? I'm negative, but I'm using the right shit. Yeah. What is that, guys?
I can't, bro. I can't.
Pick it up.
I sniped him with the C4.
Yo,
you guys want to use 725? You guys want to use
go,
725?
Oh my god.
Alright.
Gary,
Fucking
I'm not gonna lie.
fucking
I have been
725.
very impressed.
Search and destroy.
I gotta pull out.
Jesus.
Assets identified. We need to keep enemy UAV overhead.
They rush A hard too.
Who's in the
It's in our B spawn.
No, he's not. He's in our A.
Oh, come on. That is 18 rounds won, 0 rounds lost in the last 3 games. Just putting that out there.
How does that information make you feel?
I don't know.
That means you guys are ass. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, but it means you're not as ass as the guys we've been playing.
Austin, you have a mic, but you don't talk. That's the biggest pussy move in the fucking history of pussies. Just let him know.
Search and destroy. Enemy assets ID. Grab the bomb and drop the bomb. Get to the target. Search and destroy. Retrieve the bomb and hit those targets. Bomb is in play. Protect the carrier. Less than a minute. We've got a UAV on station. 30 seconds. Time's up. Move your asses. Bomb is in play. Attack the weapon caches. We've set the tempo. Keep it up in the next round. Search and destroy. Target ID. Get to the bomb and move in. Bomb is in play. Attack the weapon caches.
Oh, good throw.
Less than a minute. Time's up. Move your asses. We're planting the bomb. Watch your asses. Our bomb is set. Hold that position. That's the way. On to the next round. Switching sides. Search and destroy. Assets identified. We need to keep them intact.
UAV entering the AO. Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
Allied cruise missile away. Less than a minute. That's the way. On to the next round. Search and destroy. Assets identified. We need to keep them intact. Be advised, friendly precision airstrike inbound. Friendly UAV overhead. Less than a minute.
Yo, go to B, dog.
He's at A. You're right. Fine blue bus.
Seconds. Time's up. Move your asses.
Oh, he's at B. Library.
This round's ours. Stay sharp for the next one. Search and destroy. Assets identified. We need to keep them intact.